Hello everyone, and welcome to another internal server smash. My name is Farr, I'll be your main cast host today, and with me is...
I'm Elsa26, I'm going to be colour casting for Farr today.
So today we have, as yesterday, an internal smash. So yesterday was Briggs versus Briggs, and if you didn't see that, please check out our Twitch channel, and you check the battle that went on there. And today, we have a battle between Cobalt and Cobalt. So, we're playing on a new Esamir map, and the map will start in about 9 minutes and 22 seconds, assuming everyone's on time.
Let's hope.
And so anyway, we're not really doing a pre-game show today like we do with normal server smashes. The first proper server smash will be next week, and that will be Miller versus Connery, and they'll be playing on the map of Amrish. But today, we're on Esamir. So, as we can see, it's slightly tweaked from the previous one. If you don't know and you haven't seen the previous Esamir maps, we've included this northern territory, which was out of play before, and we've slightly jigged the territory map in that Freyr Amp Station used to be the front line and it used to be contested, and then in the south, Ymir Biolab was also contested, and then in the middle is kind of almost untouched. So we've tweaked it around, got the full continent up for grabs, and today Cobalt will be playing against Cobalt. The numbers are estimated to be around 190 versus about 190, but it can come and go up and down and whatnot. It's more of a kind of a fun game for Cobalt to basically have, play against themselves. So, Mail, what are we doing today? Stats working today? Because I heard there's a lot of drama going on earlier.
Yes, there's been a lot of issues with SOE's API today. Sorry, not SOE, Daybreak Game Company's API today. Thankfully, they are back, and we've also had some login issues, but they seem to have disappeared as well. So thankfully, I think everything should work. I'll be posting in stream, actually, a link for you guys to be able to view the statistics. I finally got around to doing the public-facing side of it all. So, yeah, you'll see that on Twitch, in the stream, and hope you enjoy it.
So, to go over some of the stats we've got today, I'll basically just go for a brief of the thing of things. In the top left, we have our bug. We have the territory percentages, those are the numbers. So, VS and NC, that's Vanu Sovereignty New Conglomerate, they're both Cobalt teams. They have our percentage numbers. Underneath in this ticker bar, the bar will move back and forth as territory is captured, and we'll also have saves and defenses written in text that you can see if we don't capture it. We also have total kills, kill graphs, kill statistics, map timelines, and populations if we want to bring them stats. So I'll just kind of show you very briefly what they are. So this is kill totals, which kind of sits on top of our minimap. Our loving kill graph, which will be flat when we begin, just giving a kind of an understanding of how the kills are going between different teams. And most kills doesn't necessarily mean the team's actually winning, it's because we're playing territory control today, which we'll get back to that in a second. Got some kill statistics, so go over the vehicles, weapons, outfits, as we go along, and just get a feel for what's going on. What kind of weapons are in use. I expect to see the Orion, I don't know about you.
Or SV88, one of the two.
We have this is our map timeline. So right now one of our admin guys have been flipping a base back and forth, but this will give us a feel for the battle, basically what bases are flipping and when they flip. And finally we have a little populations counter, which you made for the world record match that was back in January, yes?
I did, yes. Thank you very much to Poonanas for the code for that, by the way. He's a very good developer, even though he's very vocal in proxy chat.
Sure. So we've got about 5.5 minutes to go until start. Whether or not we'll actually start on time, that's to be seen. We'll perhaps have a cut chat with our game referee just this year. But new Esamir map, right? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lanes, so we still have the same number of lanes of contention, but in the south, we're no longer fighting neutral Biolab, we're now fighting between LI Forest Pass and the Bulwark, so it's kind of an open ground vehicle S-type fight, pushing between bases. There's really only 3 lanes on the southern front before you get to a large outpost. Moving into the middle, Waterston's Redemption, also known as the Octagon, that is still neutral, that's still a contestable base. And the tech plant, you have a free connection for ice and mining operations. In the past, Matheson's Triumph, this base here, could be interdicted because Rime Analytics belonged to the Eastern Warp Gate. That's no longer the case. So it's a free capture for ice and mining operations, and it's a free capture for ice and mountain pass, unless some team comes and interdicts. The tech plant is, again, up for grabs for main battle tanks. It's important, valuable capture point. It's a long 7-minute capture, so there's value in its territory, perhaps more than its tech. But then again, we have seen certain elements, especially, let's say, in the northern lane between Freya Geothermal and Manilik Satellite, there's good territory for having your main battle tanks. It definitely helps making pushes. So, moving along further up, we see Rime Analytics now crucially is neutral. It's a lovely outdoor courtyard type base with a capture point in the centre, so really looking forward to seeing how that perhaps turns out. And in the north, we've got this new territory. Freyr Amp Station used to be neutral and was contestable on all sides, but now it belongs firmly to the southern Warp Gate. And we can see that the front line is now directly between Freya Geothermal and Aurora Material Labs. But we also have the additional secondary northern line between Haven Outpost and Crystal Ridge Comrie. So in the north, there's a lot more territories that can be quickly captured. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 in the north before you get to the Snowshear Watchtower, but we also have the 5th with the Freyr Barracks. We've got 3 and then technically 4 if you include Rime Analytics, small outposts that can be quite easily flipped. And then we also take into consideration that Freyr Amp Station is a fast capturing base, sub 3 minutes, something like 2 minutes 30. And that's the same with the Biolabs. So this whole Northern Territory situation can be very fluid in terms of how much territory can be captured and moved back and forth. Would expect the fights in the middle to be more centred around the large outposts, but whoever gets Warson's Redemption, also aka the Octagon, is going to have a firm footing when it comes to, just controlling and dictating the middle of the base, or of the map. And in the south, we don't really expect to see much movement, but the fact is pressure can be applied in Ymir Biolab, or it can be applied at LA Amp Station and offering up secondary fronts. How many forces you want to commit to the south, the middle, the north, is up to the Force Guardians to decide. We're not going to have any pre-game interviews today because that's going to come in at the end of the batch because it's Cobalt versus Cobalt and they're just going to get set up frantically as things usually happen. You got anything to add to that, Maelstrom?
Apart from my pants are literally on fire getting these stats working, no.
Okay, so Justicia, are we actually going to start in 2 minutes 30 seconds?
I don't have any word otherwise, so yes, I believe so.
You just go double check and come back and give us a 60-second check down. Alright, I am going to play our intro just for everybody, and then we'll be right back in about a minute.
Where we come from, we each fight for loyalty, for freedom, or perhaps enlightenment. But not here. Here we cast aside our disparate beliefs, our barriers and preconceived notions, and band together as a global force to engage in some of the largest competitive battles this world has ever seen. We are the squads, the platoons, the empires and servers, full of players coordinating a complex game of strategy and tactics. This is where combined arms happens. This is where war comes to play. This is Server Smash.
Right, how are we doing then, Maelstrom and Justicia? Are we good to go?
Yeah, ready to go. Almost
all right,
1 minute.
okay.
I'll do an all call and then we can start.
Cool beans, right? I'll just increase the audio a little bit with music. Right,
Just
I will.
referee an all call. There's 1 minute to go until match start.
Since I'm NC Maelstrom, I will be heading over to the southern warp gate to just check out what kind of Cobalt NC is pulling, and you want to check to the eastern warp gate is VS and check out what Cobalt VS is pulling.
Sure will.
And we got 40 seconds to go. Why does nobody play TR? What is it about TR?
No idea.
It's I don't know, man. Maybe it's biased because I play TR as my main faction, but I like it. Who knows? I don't know. What's wrong with it,
Yeah. The Pounders, man.
It's not just the Pounders. I mean, the Carve was buffed, apparently, so it's pretty decent, I suppose. I like the Prowler, but anyway, here we go. So we got 10 seconds to go, roughly. All right, give it your call. You can do the start.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go, go, go. Good luck to both sides.
Okay, so server smash. Let's have a look here. Who are you? Oh, he's delayed. He's coming back. It's fine. I gotta say, one of the Reavers at the very beginning was a bit premature, jumpy coming out, but he stopped, so it's fine. Alright, so typical, usual beginning. Heavy Reaver pool, heavy ESF pool by Cobalt NC, and it looks like their main force is... Oh, this is interesting. Where they're going? They're not actually going to Waterson's Redemption. They are headed towards Rime Analytics, perhaps? What have you got, Mail?
I'm following 2 large groups of VS usual standard sort of massive air pull. Now, looks of it, a lot of them's going to Rotterdam's Redemption. I noticed at the tech plant. Or Eastern Mountain by looks of it.
I tell you what, this is interesting because normally we see forces, so we had small droppers from the NC go to isomanning operation, that makes sense. But I think Rime Analytics is the new conglomerate Cobalt's main... Yes, it is. So here's what's happening right now. The new conglomerate, because it's Cobalt versus Cobalt, I'm going to go call them by server names, I'm just going to call them by their faction. So the new conglomerate here are dropping on Rime Analytics, because Rime Analytics is a 4-minute base capture, so their main force is going to be at Rime Analytics. Whereas, okay, I was going to say it's 50-50 now, in fact more have come to Waterson's Redemption. I was going to say they're applying main pressure on Rime Analytics because it's a 4-minute base capture, and then the Octagon, or Waterson's Redemption, would be saved later, or they would attack it within the 7-minute base capture, if that makes sense. Anyway, so
by looks of it, Waterson's Redemption, VS already have 3 of the 4 points. VS have a large air presence at the moment. The NC are really struggling. I think they might get this one.
well, Waterson's Redemption is a long base capture, 50-50. Isomanning operation is ticking down. Isomounting pass is ticking down. Perhaps a little bit too many in terms of numbers for the Vanu Sovereignty Isomounting pass. But if you see in the north, Freo Geothermal has been attacked by a half platoon of the Vanu. The Crystal Ridge Comrie attack has been stopped, so whether or not that force redeploys to Freo Geothermal in the next 3 minutes to be seen. It looks like there's a half platoon, if not full platoon, currently at Rime Analytics. Really want to making sure that cap goes through. Waterson's Redemption, it's stalled, and in the south, the Bulwark was under attack by the new conglomerate, but the VS are now making the save.
Alright, speaking about numbers, I don't know if you mentioned this, but this match is 190 versus 190.
Right, well, there you go, the official numbers, slightly larger than what we had yesterday. Now, in terms of in the north, we can see that the new conglomerate's air force, I don't know if you can see it in the south, but they're fighting in the north, picking on the lone scythe. Couple of sides, so they're making their presence felt in the north, basically babysitting perhaps the Rime Analytics capture, making sure it goes through. But the thing is, they still need to make a save on the Freyr Geothermal the capture or attack by the Vanu Sovereignty. You can see the Vanu Sovereignty got themselves a Sunder outside, twin Sunders outside the capture point. Unless my minimap is mistaken, where are they? Oh, here we go. Camping the spawn rooms, not really. Alright, so it's one outfit, probably offering spawn options with beacon and on the capture point. We can see reinforcements for the new conglomerate are coming in from the other side of the base to the west, and now they're going to be coming in. And with about a minute and 35 seconds to go, it's still definitely with 50-50 numbers in favour of NC. It's NC's base to lose at the moment. You can see that fresh Vanu reinforcements have come to Crystal Ridge Comrades attacking that base. Rime Analytics is going to be NC's because there's no contention at the moment. Right, we just watch this fight as they currently go on for Geothermal.
And the fight is pretty much still 50-50 what is the redemption. NC are slightly more numbers. They are all organised around here at the minute, but yes, they're also it's like basically 2 massive groups of about 2 squad sets facing up. It's quite brilliant.
Can you say something again? I've just increased your volume.
What is redemption? So yeah, for this I didn't hear. There's 2 massive groups at B and A right now, right next to each other pretty much, just doing nothing but chucking rockets at each other. It's pretty nice.
I just tweaked the volume setting slightly because I think the action was kind of drowning you out. So with 60 seconds to go, bizarrely the Vanu Sovereignty was able to barely hold onto the capture point at Freo Geothermal, but they have now been finally pushed off by increasing new conglomerate reinforcements and especially Max on the cap point. However, Crystal Ridge Comrie in the north, which is a new base, is still being attacked, and it's got 1:40. Ice and Mining Operations got 15 seconds. Ice and Mountain Pass has got 17 seconds. There's a half platoon of Vanu Sovereignty waiting at the tech plant to force the flip. Waterson Redemption isn't going anywhere. Could you check out what's going on there, please? And the Bulwark is still not going anywhere, but the counter-hack is currently going on at Ellie Forest Pass, with about 2 minutes to go on the cap.
Well, as I say, what is the redemption? Those two forces are still right next to each other. Right next to... Literally, there's 2 points right next to each other, B and A, and all they're doing is literally just chucking rockets at each other right now. They're not flanking, they're not... I can't see anybody. No VS, no NC trying to flank each other. Literally just at these 2 points. Just
Crystal Ridge Comrie is a new base that we've fought on at Esamir since we've introduced the additional territory, and it's got a kind of a definite, distinctive kind of 2-stage, lower and upper kind of method of fighting at the base. And with 50 seconds to go, the Vanu Sovereignty are barely holding onto the lower platforms. Above, the New Conglomerate are, well, I guess it's not necessarily enough numbers. There's still 2 Spawn Sunderers up for the Vanu Sovereignty. Outnumbered 2-1, however, the New Conglomerate pushing in with 35 seconds. It's plenty of time to get here from the spawn room, and they're now swarming the capture point with bodies on the cap. And with an extra max reinforcement, I don't see how, with the populations as they are, the VS can make a change here. Maybe if they mass redeployed an additional reinforcements, but right now their numbers are ice tech plant. Initial small cap going at Zero Listening Post. Rime Analytics is New Conglomerate. Frail Geothermal has been stopped. However, the numbers are now 2-1 in favour of the in the Vanu Sovereignty. So perhaps the forces that were at Crystal Comrie have now gone back to Freyr, which we'll go check out now in Frail Geothermal. Crucially, it's only got 2 minutes to go. But they don't have Spawn Sunder set up. Oh, and the New Conglomerate, they've got additional forces on the outside and a Spawn Sunder and a Max coming in. Has he got any backup? I'll try and reduce the observer camera tweaking here because I know it can cause some motion sickness. Oh, Max goes down. Oh, but never mind, there's another one. And he's done. Oh, nice use of, was it Twin Furies? Yeah, Twin Fury repair Sunderers by the Vanu Sovereignty. Being absolute bloody murder against the New Conglomerate as they're coming in from their Spawn Sunder in the south. At this rate, the New Conglomerate getting a little bit smarter, you'd think, and coming in from the north, and they're going to push on the capture point at Frail Geothermal from the northern direction. I tell you what, with 80 seconds to go, the defense here by the Vanu Sovereignty is pretty tight. Sunder might have to turn around and pay attention to what's going behind him. It's got a twin backup. Inside the actual capture point, not a huge number of forces, so a good, yeah, here we go. We can see the numbers are definitely beginning to spawn heavier now in the south. But with 60 seconds to go, New Conglomerate needs to make the push.
I'm just looking at the Bulwark right now. VS are definitely on the defensive here. I can't really see NC because obviously I'm not on the NC side, but the VS are pretty much pinned in their Bulwark A point at the moment. NC are setting up numerous Sunderers around the edge. I see at least 3 or 4 Sunderers around the edge of the base right now. They're just dug in, that's all they can do. Although it does look like NC are literally cannot get in there at the moment. They need a really huge crash to get in there, but they're just dotted around, unorganised, just light assaults to the roof, having pot shots at them, no real organisation going on right now.
And at the fight of Frail Geothermal, we can see that although it's kind of heavily contested on the minimap, the New Conglomerate have managed to grab the capture point back, and when you look at the population numbers, it's now 70 to 30. However, the Vanu Sovereignty is bunny hopping. They're back at Crystal Comrie, so really they're bouncing off these 2 bases, and the New Conglomerate are being too inflexible. They're moving too many forces between one base and another, so the Vanu Sovereignty may actually get a base between these 2 fights simply by bouncing their numbers back and forth, and the New Conglomerate not leaving sufficient numbers behind to save the previous capture point, but then also save the other alternative fight in the north. So with less than 60 seconds to go, 40 seconds to go, the numbers are 50-50, and we're getting a frantic redeployment here by the New Conglomerate forces, but there is a Vanu Sovereignty motion detector revealing all movement coming in. And we can see that there is a Max on the capture point. Has he got any infantry support? No, okay. Vanu medic. Oh, there's not enough. There's just simply not enough Vanu at the capture point, I think, with 20 seconds to go. There's so many NC streaming on the ground floor. Or not. It's hard to say. I'm surprised it's not stopping. With 13 seconds, 11 seconds. Oh, look, see, so the couple of twin medics here being a right nuisance for the Vanu Sovereignty. They've still got basic control. I can't believe this. There's so many NC, but they're actually going to get this. This is crazy. Oh, 2 seconds save. But wait, the Vanu Sovereignty are making the last couple of kills. Everyone's running on the point. It's still contested. No one has control. Heavy assaults are just shooting each other. Res grenades. Oh, and the new conglomerate makes a save on the 2-second marker. They've got the capture point, and now they're swarming the bases, and there's just simply not enough Vanu Sovereignties to take the capture point back. That was super close. Res grenades are making it slightly contested, but by what we can see here, it's going to be at least another 20 seconds to make it count. Still didn't see it now.
It's got huge reinforcements. The pops are now even again. It was, as you were saying, just about 37% VS. It's all over a sudden 47% VS. So I think they're dumping more forces to try and get that base.
But this is the thing. Now they've bunny hopped again. Oh, Crystal Ridge, is that 10 seconds again? I was going to say that they've bunny hopped to the other base, but the new conglomerate forces, they're split between the 2 bases in the north, constantly under pressure. It's going to go through. Crystal Conglomerate is going to be is going to lose from the conglomerate, and Vanu Sovereignty takes it. There you go. Very nice work by the Vanu. And now Freya Geothermal is also under 60 seconds. Who can redeploy faster and get over to that base?
And also another one, it's a tech plan. 1 minute 20 seconds.
Completely uncontested by the new conglomerate. They're just giving it to the Vanu Sovereignty.
This is bad.
And we can also see that the Vanu Sovereignty have got themselves some technology equals might maxes, actually. This is the first time we see max on the capture point. And with 35 seconds to go, I don't see any new conglomerate, and my observer camera is new conglomerate. I don't see anyone on the minimap. There's the same spawn sunder in the south, but it is camped by a double fury Vanu Sovereignty sunder. This is going to go through. It's going to be a double capture for the Vanu. And then we've also got the tech plant going in the middle within 50 seconds to go. I'd have to say that in terms of territory control, it's beginning to edge more and more now towards the Vanu Sovereignties.
Oh wow, VS have sunderers, everything you could possibly imagine. Use the tech. Holy wow. Although NC are contesting it, they are on the balcony, trying to get in desperately, but 30 seconds to go, I don't think they can get there in time.
And VS is taking Freya Geothermal, and they've already started their attack with 2 squads at Freya Northern Barracks. Rime Analytics is 2 minutes to go, but it looks like there's an NC redeploy. Oh wow, I can see what you mean by the acid tech plant. It's stopped ticking.
Yes, 2 NC guys literally just took it back. Now he's got another 2 VS guys trying to take them out. Now, yeah, I think VS just got it back, so it looks like the VS are going to get this.
The thing is, it's 2 and 2. There's 4 people. Right now, the VS guy is going to get res. It's going to be 3 versus 2, so it's going to flip in their favor. Extra Vanu reinforcements now coming in for the capture point. The thing is, precious time has been bought though for the new conglomerate, and we do see they have some extra forces coming in from the large double door section. Whether or not they can get into the capture point, it doesn't look like it. Nope, so we see a spawn sunders coming in, or deployment sunder, or just redeployment onto said sunders. Lots of reinforcements for the Vanu Sovereignty. They're babysitting the cap. 20 seconds to go. This has to take the highest priority in the entire continent right now. Smoke being fired. I can't tell if it's NC or VS. I think it's probably VS just to keep the NC at bay, but the NC needs to really run to the capture point, and it's a big ask now to make a save in the next 5 seconds.
Well, losing his tech plant on Esamir is just a very, very bad idea.
But it feels like they've given it away for free though, and the Vanu Sovereignty takes the tech plant. So right now, in terms of territory control, it's 51 to 44. That's 51 to the Vanu Sovereignty. Oh, but it gets better than that, because now Waterston's Redemption large outpost is 60 to 40 population numbers, and with 2 minutes to go, that's going to go in favour of the Vanu Sovereignty. And we can also see pressure still being applied at Palos Solar Array. Freya Northern Barracks is still being attacked. Fighting is heavily going on at currently Freya Geothermal, and we see large NC forces at Freya Amp Station. Rime Analytics, we're going to go there next, is 1 minute 20, and there's a small cap going at Isomanning operations. So right now, the Vanu Sovereignty is really applying the pressure on the new conglomerate, just everywhere they can go. And in terms of population, it is balanced, guys. It's not like one team has more population than the other. It is just I wouldn't say lopsided or heavy-sided, but just all the pressure is coming from the Vanu Sovereignty against the new conglomerate.
Give it your all.
And just as I speak, guys, the code for the public match stats is uploading to my server, so you'll be able to see the stats in real time very shortly. I shall be putting that link in Twitch for you if you're
okay, with 40 seconds to go at Rime Analytics, we can see here comes a full squad now of the new conglomerate. Oh, this heavy assault's got a fieldy on the roof. He's just picking them off for the Vanu Sovereignty. Now they're coming. The problem is they're coming on from one direction. So it's kind of a killing field right now for against the NC. The VS have got the time. Oh, and they've also got a Max being a nuisance, especially. Did the new Zoe changes go in for the Maxes? Or not happened yet?
No, I'm not sure actually.
But he's definitely using Super Saiyan mode at the moment to be a right nuisance, and he's fending them off. And with 13 seconds to go, now the NC really on the desperate of running around to the corner trying to make the change. They're trying to push on the capture point. But the VS, I don't believe this. The squad that was there could have pushed him but didn't. And now Rhyme Analytics falls to the Vanu Sovereignty. Okay, so now Waterson's Redemption we can see is stalled, and new conglomerate reinforcements have come in. The next base that's possibly going to go is Ellie Forest Pass with 30 seconds to go. Here we are.
We're about to lose this facility.
I think I might bump up the audio slightly in the FX. There we go. So, NC max reinforcements, 10 seconds to go. Lots of infantry forces on the capture point of Ellie Forest Pass. You were saying, Mel?
I'm just looking at what's this redemption. NC have actually pushed some forces over here now. They have 70% population. They've got all 3 points. So there's really.
Oh, 1 sec. Oh, I was going to say there was a 1 second save on the Ellie Forest Pass. It was flicking back and forth, and it's still flicking back and forth in New Conglomerate. Oh man, they were just a fraction too late, and I mean a fraction. So they've lost the base. Crucially, they don't have any spawn sunders as the backup, so it really is up to now the Vanu Sovereignty to lose this base. They've got 4 minutes to mop up non-spawn reinforceable new conglomerate at Ellie Forest Pass. And ISA mining operations, the next one with 2 squads currently numbering 2 to 1. The new conglomerate force, the Vanu Sovereignty, still applying pressure almost everywhere. But the NC take the capture point. This is a far more exposed capture point, so trickier to take. Although fresh VS reinforcements coming in on the capture point. Looks like about half squads. No, but the NC squad holds back the push by the Vanu Sovereignty team, and they still have the control point, and the cap timer is slowly working its way back.
Alright, what's the redemption? NC have all 4 points. They still have majority population 67%.
Oh, we can see, we didn't say that, but Peleus Solar Array has been captured by the Vanu Sovereignty. So now they're at the Snowshoe Watchtower. They've pushed all along the northern front, and they're now beginning to apply pressure to the base that matters, a quick capture of Freyr Amp Station. You see the numbers are roughly 50-50, about half a platoon to a full platoon each working at the Freyr Amp. Rhyme Analytics was being attacked by the NC, but now it's been resaved to the VS, possibly looking to make a push in Matheson's triumph. Ice Mining Operation. See reinforcements from the NC still applying there, waiting basically to try and make a save. We can see that ISA's southern camp hasn't been captured. And this is actually, I don't understand this. ISA's southern camp, right, hasn't been started. Now it's been started. But how long has the Vanu Sovereignty had ISA tech plant? And they didn't start the capture in ISA southern camp because it's a free cap to whoever gets the Watson Redemption or the tech plant first. Still, it's happening now, but that was a bit of a surprise.
And they've still got a lot of numbers of what's the redemption now. VS are coming in with Sunders from the north in hopes to get the base back.
I'll come over and have a look.
So we got.
Can you, as I go to Waterson's Redemption, can you have just a general look at the air game and see what kind of is generally going on around the continent, if possible?
Yeah, see if we find some. Looks like there's actually quite a lot of VS over east attack for some reason, but it looks like they're moving on.
Oh yeah, we can see there's a good heavy max force on the Alpha capture point. You're right, with the Vanu Sovereignty is trying to push in on with twin spawn sunders on the northwest of the Waterson's Redemption, perhaps pushing into the Delta capture point to stall for time. This would be big for the new conglomerate. They need a win at the moment because they're really taking a lot of beatings. And we see additional spawn sunders, but it doesn't mean anything unless they can actually get to the capture point. They need to prevent the new conglomerate from grabbing this base, because once you've grabbed the base, the ability to spawn in the spawn room is just a huge advantage. Oh, PPA scythe with rocket pods taking down the blocking new conglomerate max. Looks like the Vanu Sovereignty are pushing into the Delta capture point. They're also flipping the Bravo capture point, which is unattended right now by the new conglomerate. I wonder where the new conglomerate spawns are, because I don't actually see any Sunders. So with the spawn options for the Vanu Sovereignty, they're coming in now. Bravo's been taken back by the new conglomerate, but with 3 capture points, it's now become a 2 minute and 20 seconds. Looks like some galaxy reinforcements in the north. Definitely. Go ahead.
This is something quite amazing. VS tried to GSD into Eliab State. NC are using the shield effects, the full effect here. They've actually put the Sunderers right in front of the, right behind the gate shield.
Just to block them?
Yeah, they can't GSD in. It's amazing. And they're just getting absolutely wrecked by AT on the towers. This is brilliant.
But the thing is, it looks like the very close and near capture by the new conglomerate of Waterston's Redemption has been prevented. Lots of Sunder reinforcements, basically giving tons of spawn options. Air control of the skies is also in the hands of the Vanu Sovereignty. And it looks like all but the last of the new conglomerate has been wiped off of the base. The last couple of maxes and forces that was on the A capture point is still here, but it looks like it's going to be wiped away and it's going to start ticking back again.
Esamir's got 25 seconds. NC are nowhere to be found. VS are strongly in control. They will get that base unless NC drop it right now.
Which base, sorry?
Esamir up.
I don't think it's going to happen. There's just too many people.
Oh, definitely, yeah. There you go, they got it.
So manning up. Now, as we look at the situation in the north, the new conglomerate is striking out with a small team at Rime Analytics, and I can imagine that perhaps the force that's at mining operations will try and make a save at Rime Analytics. We'll have a look at that in a sec. The Freyr Amp Station 2-1 numbers in favour of the new conglomerate, so they still haven't made the save. It's still ticking down in favour of Vanu Sovereignty. But the Vanu in the north have to break through either Snowshear Watchtower, Matherson's Triumph, or the Freyr Amp Station. Now, the Freyr Amp Station is definitely the weakest of all the bases in the north, simply because...
One sec. East of Southern Camp cannot be actually taken back by the NC. They're going to get that base for free. Absolutely free.
Which one?
No connection. East of Southern Camp. It's just about to flip.
Yeah, we were talking about this because if you hold the tech plant or Waterston's Redemption, you can start the cap on the Ice of Southern Camp free. So this is why whoever takes the tech plant first or Waterston's Redemption first gets an extra free territory. So there is an extra emphasis on taking those particular bases. Now, in terms of Rime Analytics, which allows the new conglomerate to kind of venture out and backhack behind Freyr Amp Station, lets them to go to raw materials.
I'm looking at that right now, Rime Analytics.
Yeah, we're here. I'm here right now, and it's only a small squad. They're well deployed, but no, they don't have maxes. And in comes now the Vanu Sovereignty max, twin Claymore mines. Wow, he ran straight over the mines and didn't get blown up, and he's just decimating as a charger, and he's just killing everything off.
5 seconds though.
But with now the infantry forces coming on the capture point.
Oh,
2 seconds! There's one engineer here, he needs to kill off more with the heavy assault being rezzed. It's just not. Oh well, these new conglomerate guys, see these guys right here? You need to run up to the point. Get to the point, turn around. Look at this engineer, just totally not paying attention to like the 5 guys behind him on the point. It's pretty brutal at the moment. The contention point's going back towards the new conglomerate. It's still in 2 seconds here. Crucial, here comes the res grenades.
Oh, yeah, NC.
But 1 second, and there you go. New Conglomerate gets a very important win by taking Rime Analytics, allowing them to flank behind the Vanu Sovereignty and to make some plays if necessary. In the south, we can see that the Vanu Sovereignty, they've made it up to the Eliamp Station. North, they've made it to Snowshear, Freyr, and Matheson's Triumph. So it's actually really hard now for the Vanu Sovereignty to make any additional progress, unless, however, they take Waterston's Redemption, which they have a full platoon. If they get their hands on Waterston's Redemption, it means that it opens up every single other small base now to the line. They can get to Bridge Ward, they can get to Pale Canyon Chemical, and they can just bypass the large outposts that kind of form the main defense now for the new conglomerate. You can also see that the Vanu Sovereignty is beginning to kind of maybe chip away at the Rime Analytics, but the important base right now has to be Waterston's Redemption in terms of the new conglomerate just stemming the tide, getting a breather. I mean, we're only about 24 minutes into this fight, and it's really important that the new conglomerate manages to kind of get a breather, figure out what's going on. Okay, here we go. Double galaxy drop, or at least single galaxy drop, on the Charlie capture point of Waterston's Redemption, looking to buy time. It looks like they just jumped straight onto a group of Vanu Sovereignty, though. It looks like, there's perhaps another group fighting at the Alpha capture point. They are trying to buy time. The thing is, they need additional reinforcements. I don't see much in terms of New Conglomerate Air Force. We do see Spawn Sunder, some lightnings, perhaps clearing up the Vanu Sovereignty Spawn Sunders. Yep, that's exactly what they're doing, rotating around. In fact, I don't see any of the Vanu Sovereignty Spawn Sunders, but with 35 seconds to go, if the Alpha capture point goes back towards Vanu Sovereignty, it's going to be within seconds. With 30 seconds, it is. There we go, 20 seconds. The New Conglomerate here, they realize the importance. They need to get on the capture point, but even with 15 seconds to go, if they get one of the cap points on a 4-point base, it's still super close. They need to get 2 points in the next 10 seconds. They might get the Charlie capture point with the number of New Conglomerate here, but they don't have any other forces on any other base. And this is huge for the New Conglomerate now, because they're going to lose this, and now it is... Alright, it's a pretty big uphill for the next hour.
Definitely.
Right, checking the map. Okay, 50-50 numbers. Freyr Amp Station's got 90 seconds to go in favour of the Vanu Sovereignty, so that's another big base. Bridgeward is immediately being captured right now by the Vanu Sovereignty. It looks like it's perhaps just one person. Ellie Forest Pass was attempted to be captured by 2 squads of New Conglomerate, but it looks like the cap point's going back. We're going to go to Freyr Amp Station next.
Yeah, I'm just at Freyr Amp. The VS just took B points, so that 30-second time is going to be cut down to around about 15 seconds.
Oh wow, okay, Reinforcement Galaxy up ahead. I can see that the spawn galaxies are up above for the Vanu Sovereignty, so they're staying at max altitude, kind of spawning back in. Bravo capture point is still flickering. Is it under Vanu Sovereignty control? 1 infiltrator flipping the point. 2 Vanu infiltrators. They're going to get the B point. Oh, but the Alpha point still doesn't matter with 6 seconds to go. I mean, it's important. It's big that they managed to stop the A, but without the B point, they need to get the C point, and is that it? There you go. Freyr Am Station now falls to the Vanu Sovereignty. Absolutely dominating the New Conglomerate here on Esamir today. Do we know if Jest is fighting on NC or VS? I have seen them. I don't know the outfit breakdown, who's playing where or when. Right, okay, so because of Rime Analytics, the New Conglomerate is actually striking out at Aurora Material Labs, if you want to go check that out. They are also doing a small force at Sayre Listening Post, but they're already out-popped 70-30. The bridge ward is 50-50 and is now being saved. None of the New Conglomerate, Vanu Sovereignty forces are pushing on Pale Canyon Chemical. You'd think with Waterston's Redemption and the tech plant would have Mac Riders perhaps forcing on the bridge ward. Look. Thank you, Angie.
I'm just looking at raw materials. There's literally nobody here. It's just one infiltrator. That's all there is. It's a wasted opportunity. It looks like the NC are definitely on the back foot right now.
Hey guys, sorry, I was just getting some informations. Hold on, I'll just get to the fight on the capture point, and then I'll list the outfits or who's playing for what particular faction at the moment. Okay, so fighting for the Vanu Sovereignty today, the force commander is Ghost Fighter 77, I think. We've got 2 squads of RMIS. We've got 2 squads of FACS. You're going to have to apologise here, I don't know the outfit full names. GSM's got almost a squad. Skik and WOTC, W-O-T-C, they've got a squad. RE4 and some solos, they've got 2 squads of 10. I3FS have got a squad of 12. Solos have got 6. Jest, there are 2 squads of Jest here. They're playing for the Vanu Sovereignty. GBX has got a squad of 12. TRID, TRID's got a squad of 12, MB1's got a squad of 12, TFDN's got a squad of 12, and F1S7 has got a squad of 12. So those are the Vanu Sovereignty forces. For the New Conglomerate today, the force commander is Sam Danvers. We have a squad from PTMC, VIPR, TEIC. We've also got 3 squads from GETR and 1 squad from GEKO. We've got a squad from BAWC, MAX, RSG1, there's a squad from GETF, 3 squads from PRA, 1 squad from PL13, MMMK, and 418 also have a squad. So there you go. Those are the breakdown for the new conglomerate and Vanu forces who's particular playing. Angie, if you wanna... Oh, actually, hold on, let me... Angie, can I link this to the Twitch chat? Are you okay with that? Right, anyway, with regards to the bridge wars, as I wait for that response, we're looking at the bridge wars fight with 60 seconds to go. New conglomerate does a motion sensor, they know what's going on. EMP grenade takes out the Vanu Sovereignty spawn beacons. Doesn't look like they've got any spawn sunder. Alright, never mind, here's come one right now. But in terms of the actual capture point, population numbers, the Vanu Sovereignty actually outnumbers the new
1
conglomerate.
hour, 30 minutes left in the match. 90 minutes left.
There you go, guys. I just linked the force composition summary for the CobaltSmash. It's in Twitch chat, so you can just digest it freely as you like.
We're about to lose this facility.
And okay, with 20 seconds to go, here comes the max crash for the new conglomerate. It's got to be important. 17 seconds, the Vanu Sovereignty. Look at these two guys. They're just... Alright, now they turn around. They realize what's going on. Explosives and grenades. It's still being grounded in. Grenades are being flown out. Engineer turret. It's not enough. The Maxes are pushing in a lot of death and carnage. They got to get on the capture point. 2 seconds save though. That was super close. Maybe a little bit extra C4. Vanu Sovereignty forces, however, look at this coming from the back. Is this from the Sunder in the back or something? Where are they coming? Alright, Sunder in the back and a squad beacon coming into the capture point. The new conglomerate forces managed to get the capture point. They now have a big job ahead of them. They need to hold onto this capture point. They need a medic. They need a res grenade to get these people up. They need to get these Maxes up. They're going to be flanked on both sides, and the capture point is going to go back in favour of the new Vanu Sovereignty. And they're going to get the base with 5 seconds to go. It was a good push by the NC, but no vehicle support and no external air support, and there we go. It's now captured by the Vanu Sovereignty.
Are you at substation?
I was at Bridge Ward.
Alright, I'm at substation. NC have just got the point back with 30 seconds left on the clock. That was a very impressive save, but they nearly lost it again. Nearly. Very close to losing this.
We can see the same harassment force at Sarah listening post. There was a small harassment force at ISA mining operation. There is a harassment force at Aurora Material Labs. So the new conglomerate are trying to apply pressure as many hexes as they possibly can to force the timer down. The main force, currently 50-50 numbers, are fighting to try and get Freyr Amp Station back, and that's from the Freyr Network Compound link. The Freyr Substation, as you just said, was a clutch last second save, so that is in the favour. We can also see there's a small cap going on by the new conglomerate at Paleo Solar Array, if you want to go check that out. So they're trying to take back some of the smaller territories. I mean, it's not over for the new conglomerate yet. Yes, they're pushed back, but they've been pushed back to the large outposts. It's very hard for the Vanu Sovereignty to make additional gains, except from in the lane from Waterston's Redemption. The new conglomerate forces can re-push back on small outfits and make a lot of progress in a short period of time by just pushing along what would be considered easier bases to capture.
Park, you reset your statistics, mate. I've made it a bit less hard on the CPU. Might get some more frames back.
There we go. So it looks like the capture going on at LA Tower is a ghost cap. There's nobody here, right? There's like 2 guys, 2 engineers, just being a nuisance at LA Tower.
Let's go have a look at Palos. NC getting it without any opposition.
Yeah, it's a ghost cap that's going through. They're applying ghost caps almost everywhere, so it really requires... Oh, look at that. Freyr Substation's been recaptured, though, by the Vanu Sovereignty.
With next to no forces as well. That's interesting.
So what, did the entire new conglomerate force just leave?
Yeah.
Oh, that's brutal.
2 guys. 2 VS guys.
How did they get the link? Oh, because it was still under contention, that's why.
Right, yeah.
Because it wasn't saved fully. Oh, that's a huge blunder for the new conglomerate. Nowhere near enough forces. Although, yes, congrats, you got Paleo Solar Array. They're gonna lose,
Fall back and regroup.
and they have lost Freyr Substation. Yeah, guys, as in the Twitch chat thing, this is Cobalt versus Cobalt. It's all Cobalt. Internal civil war. So you can see the Vanu Sovereignty has responded to Paleo Solar Array too late, but it's a full squad that's come back. They're now recapturing Paleo Solar Array. They've got their hands on Freyr Substation. They're still blocked by Snowshear Watchtower for progress. But if the Vanu Sovereignty can now come back to Freyr Amp Station, make the save on the Amp Station, they can push towards Freyr Network Compound and perhaps a Traverse. If I was the Vanu Sovereignty Force Commander, however, I would look at Rhyme Analytics and think, that's an annoying little pain in my backside. I really want to get Rhyme back. But then again, look at them in the south. They're just roaring away. They made a save in LE Forest Pass. LE Tower, that small ghost cap, has now been saved. But it looks like the pressure's being applied in Oshire Checkpoint, which I'm going to go check out next. There we go. So, Spawn Sunder... Ooh, sorry about that. A little bit too fast. Spawn Sunder in the garage, being rocketed by a couple of long-range Reaver with rocket pods. Doesn't look like the Spawn Sunder is going to last long for the Vanu Sovereignty at Old Shore Checkpoint. Capture Point looks deserted, but it's because mainly on their buildings and spawn beacons. Vanu Sovereignty, they've got the outlying buildings, they've got motion darts, not a motion sensor. New Conglomerate forces are beginning to spawn in the spawn room. They've got about a squad on the ridgeline. No one's actually wanting to push forward though at the moment. With 2 minutes to go, I'm surprised. There's not like an overwhelming VS Air Force in the skies, and it's not like there's any tanks suppressing the thing. Okay, now the New Conglomerate forces are beginning to push forward, taking the first building on the path towards the capture point.
Hey, Freya.
I am at Old Shore Checkpoint.
Alright, well, I'm just at Freya. NC are about to do a final push on the other B point. 1 minute 30 left. I definitely see them getting Freya.
Oh, what are these guys doing? Look at this grenade, it's going to charm a whole bunch of people. They need to push out. Oh, this is painful to watch by the New Conglomerate forces. Vanu Sovereignty, they've got the outside, and they're just forcing... The NC are just coming through small choke points and getting absolutely clogged and killed. Okay, is that... A couple of New Conglomerate forces very smartly flanked around, got the capture point. Is that a C4? No, it's an ammo pack, never mind. Okay, now they're being counter-flanked. The Double Fury Sunder from the Vanu Sovereignty forces back to the capture point. Still, however, being critically held by the New Conglomerate, buying precious time in the back force. VS, they're trying to come back to the capture point. It looks like maybe... I don't think that's gonna... I think they're slowly beginning to come down. Yeah, the Sunders are being picked off now. Galaxy reinforcement? Well, they're definitely beaconing in. I have to say that the NC now... Oh, let me check the numbers. Yeah, 60 to 40. They've come back and they've made a save in Ultra Checkpoint. Pressure's small numbers at LE Tower. LE Forest Pass isn't going anywhere. 50-50 numbers from half platoon size forces at LE Amp Station. Sarah Listing Post still being nagged away at. Aurora Materials, that got close. A minute to go, possibly even less. Peleus Solar Array is a free cap. Look at this, the New Conglomerate's just giving away Peleus Solar Array for free. Nobody's there.
Again. And they already did it before.
But did you say they took Freyr Amp Station? Because I see that it's now blue, so yes. That's a yes. And it is an easier base to capture than to say to defend. Whether or not, I mean, there's a small ghost cap going at Snowshear because of the connection to Freyr Substation. I don't want to take Freyr Substation back, but as NC, you'd want to just branch out. You want to get caps on Substation, Northern Barracks, Freyr Geothermal. Yeah, that's probably the way I'd go about it, because, or do you want to put forces at Aurora Material Labs? I mean, how do you commit your numbers, what you've got? And then the Old Shore Checkpoint, actually reinforcements are coming in from the Vanu Sovereignty. You can see the sponsor stuff. Go ahead, sorry.
At Freya, there's a huge NC, a VS Sunder crash that's just come through the gate, and they're reinitiating their attack on Freya. They definitely want that base back. Large amounts of air support, lots of Sunder support. They're definitely digging it for the long haul at this base at Freya Ramp Station. Now, raw materials also seems to be going to the VS as well. Well, it looks like it's a resecure. So it looks like the NC did actually attempt something at raw materials, but just got shut straight away. Well,
the Vanu Sovereignty are back again. They've got the control point at Old Shore, ticking down 2 minutes, 50-50 numbers. They don't have a Sunder though, so it's debatable whether or not they realistically the NC shouldn't allow them to take it. 60-40 numbers, however, LA Amp Station in favour of the Vanu Sovereignty attacking the base. The LA Tower, 2 squads of NC have redeployed to make the save on LA Tower. Oh, check this out. Full squad's got all the capture points at Matheson's Triumph with 4 minutes to go. Definitely need to come back and make a save by that, the NC. They just simply can't allow that to go down. And we can also see a half squad's going Snowshear, so the Vanu Sovereignty has made their play. They're attacking Rime Analytics. Aurora Material Labs is going to finally be saved. Zero Listing Post is finally saved. So there's fresh pressure now all across the northern front now by the Vanu Sovereignty. Fighting Aurora Materials, fighting Rime Analytics, taking Matheson's Triumph and Snowshear. Big, large outposts. If the NC simply cannot afford to lose these large outposts.
And also Freya is now almost fully in control of VS. So A point is currently flickering. A couple of NC defenders there, they might get that back, but VS are very much on their tail. They've actually got asunder on A point, literally on A point.
Well, 3 minutes to go at Matheson's Triumph. No new conglomerate forces to be seen. And the problem is, it's a tiny force of... I don't even get it. There's even a Vanu Sovereignty Max here. That's got dual bursters. A dual burster at the spawn on Vanu Sovereignty Max can serve no other purpose other than just to be a giant annoyance. Maybe the new conglomerate brings in their own air force, but one dual burster Max isn't going to stop a galaxy, is it? Okay, and they've hacked the anti-air terminal, so they've definitely got heavy anti-air forces. Numbers are slightly going up, but it's astonishing that Matheson's Triumph is ticking down as far as it has. The fact that also Snowshear is also being left uncontested, all 3 points in favour of VS, is almost criminal. It looks like the new conglomerate really wants to hold on to Freyr. And I don't see an air force right now for NC Cobalt. I mean, it's all VS Cobalt, unless you can find it anywhere else. Yep, so spawn sunder. Okay, so it's all light assault. There's a spawn sunder outside the east side by DFDN for the Vanu Sovereignty of the Freya geothermal or Freya ramp station, and they're all light assaulting over to the Alpha capture point. They've got themselves the Bravo capture point locked down, and the only thing that's under contention is the Charlie capture point, which
is flipping to VS now.
Is indeed nope. NC's on the point, and he's just got picked off. The Charlie point is definitely in NC hands.
Oh, VS are now coming in from B point and slowly making their way to C.
Have you seen the Twin Fury Sunder hanging on the bridge looking at the shields to the north?
That's the thing though, is using the bridge as sort of little
kind of leverage to fire on the shield window, absolutely. It's really effective.
Well, not just that, but also they're using it as sort of cover for the actual vehicle, which is very interesting.
The Bravo capture point was being flipped towards NC, but the number of Vanus... Oh wait, never mind, there's a lot of NC on the capture point. Vanus on the outside trying to poke in. We see the skies have been bombarded with rocket pods, or proton pods, but I don't know, man, the NC seems to have got themselves locked down on Bravo point. They've made a play for it. Population-wise, actually, the Vanu Sovereignty's got more, this is really, really interesting. They do have a galaxy over the Charlie capture point at Freya Ramp Station. So, are they gonna drop anyone? Looks like they actually have dropped a squad on the Charlie capture point, picking off the last guy. Yep. So the Charlie capture point is gonna fall from the NC towards the Vanu Sovereignty. That's gonna then go into their favour. Right now, with regards to Waterson's Triumph, it's still ticking, albeit slower. Looks like it's a 2 capture point tick now. Snowshear's still ticking, but a full squad of NC have now come back, so they're making the save. It just depends whether or not the Vanu Sovereignty keeps applying pressure. The Rime Analytics is being attacked by a larger 60-30 force of Vanu Sovereignty. Bridgeward's been attacked by a new conglomerate. Ellie Tower is actually being played for now at the Vanu Sovereignty, so we're going to check that out briefly. 3 minutes to go on the Freya Ramp Station. Can you give me a shout if it gets any closer?
Yeah, will do.
So, currently at Ellie Tower. Looks like double motion sensors, lots of motion darts for the Vanu Sovereignty, definitely giving them good radar control. I don't see any motion for the new conglomerate forces. Looks like they're trying to get a maybe kind of height advantage from the air pads. Thing is, with all the motion going on, any NC force that gets close is definitely going to be spotted. I don't see any maxes for the Vanu Sovereignty force. They've got one spawn sunder further in the back. Looks like NC vehicles armor are actually going off to Ellie Forest Pass, so they're not actually going to interfere with the spawn sunder. That's quite an important spawn sunder, and with 15 seconds to go, I don't see anywhere near enough new conglomerate forces to make any kind of impact on the capture point. Ellie Tower is going to fall, and it's going to go in favour of the Vanu Sovereignty.
Let's take a look at Freya again. 2 VS points against 1 NC point. A point has been heavily contested, but it's also very well defended by the VS. Now the NC really should just be dropping on NC point. There's absolutely nobody here. There is maybe a squad, maybe a little bit more than that at C point, but there's many, many more at A point. Having said that, however, it looks like NC are finally making their way towards A point. They're taking out...
Oh, Waterson's Triumph, is that what you're talking about?
No, frame ramp.
Because Waterson's Triumph got close. Like, really close. I got here last moment, it looked like it was very, like, almost last second stuff. Looks like a lot of NC forces are now spawning back in, and they're just beginning to clear up Waterson's... Yeah, because it's a 20-minute timer on a 2-point, so it got really, really close to the Vanu Sovereignty taking Waterson's Triumph. And it looks like...
So gone.
No, there's nobody at Snowshear for the NC is going to get a free save there at the moment, although they've probably got too many forces. And Freyr Amp Station, you're saying?
Yeah, Freyr Amp Station, NC have just flipped it back, although VS have reacted to it. But it looks like NC are going to flip that back, so... For now, at least, it's saved Freyr Ramp. Although C point is still in VS hands, so they're going to take that back as well. Now, this is quite funny. An NC engineer has put a Spitfire turret on the very edge of the A point's landing pads, just above it, and it's just ripping things apart because nobody.
Oh, this guy! Yeah, I see him.
Oh, that's amazing.
He actually got the range on the cap point.
I believe it.
What is the range on the Spitfire turret?
I think it's 50 meters. I think.
Oh
So
wow, yeah, the cap point is 49 meters from the turret. So yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I like that. Good idea, that. Oh, there's somebody that's quite, aware of what they're doing. Can easily just rocket it, and there it goes.
And we can see that the nuclear conglomerate forces. that's one heck of a tunnel of death if anyone wants to kind of apply enough pressure on the bridge. But they are.
I see this.
It's like, I've not got enough bullets, man! There's too many on the bridge! But still, they are applying pressure, and they're just gonna get Charlie. I mean, look at this. What are these Vanu Sovereignty guys doing? They gotta see this in the menu. They got tracer darts. They're making a good attempt at it, making the defense on the choke point of the door.
Definitely. They just need to rush in. They've got the numbers. Use a book out of Dig's use a rule out of Dig's book. Just zerg the buggers.
Yeah, as a member of any, I can guarantee that that is indeed a tactic used by Dig.
And it works very well.
It's Cobalt versus Cobalt, guys. If you're wondering what's going on, should be in the title on Twitch. So, Bravo points flip back to the VS. Now, while we're going on here, we'll just have a quick look at some of the stats. I'll go over to the Bravo capture point.
Oh, reset it, actually. Give me a couple of minutes, I can get your names. And go sorting that out.
Alright, well, I'll skip the kind of leaderboard stuff at the moment. I'll just go over some of the basic lining of how things have been going. Bravo capture point's in the hands of the VS. It looks like they're actually contesting now the Alpha capture point. Yeah, they are. Wow. So this is a kind of a merry-go-round system at the moment. Vanu Sovereignty still applying pressure, getting on the 2 capture point now. What's this guy gonna do? Oh, he's trying to get rid of the Sunder. Good call. He needs to get repairs. You gonna get it? You gonna get it? Fire the rocket. On you go. On you go. Oh, nice! Oh, that engineer was repairing the Max. Repaired the wrong guy. Alright, never mind. So as this is going on, I'll just watch A. Bring up some stats. Total kills for today. We're still up to about 8,000 in total. You can see that the Vanu Sovereignty are ahead by about 1,000 kills roughly in this first 15 minutes of the game. Looks like the Vanu Sovereignty trying to flick back Charlie, and it looks like the Nuke Conglomerate flipping back Bravo. So it's very much back and forth on the amp station, just the nature of the hard points and spawns when you capture it. Right.
B's definitely in control of NC.
Look at the map timeline. It just tells a story. We can see how it just, for the first, like, I don't know, 20-30 minutes, all in the Vanu Sovereignty's favour, and now it's kind of bouncing back and forth. But the fact is, the Vanu Sovereignty are still ebbing and chipping away at little bases all over the place. They got Ellie Tower. They're applying pressure again at Old Shore Checkpoint. They're trying to get themselves Ellie Amp Station. Pressure is being applied at Matheson's Triumph, although they're outnumbered 2-1. Snowshear was under attack, but it's not anymore. Big forces are all fighting at Freyr Amp Station. This seems to be the main focus. Rhyme Analytics has been finally captured, so it cannot be messed with until Waterson's Triumph is fully saved. So that secures the whole central flank now for the Vanu Sovereignty. Until Pale Canyon Chemical gets a cap on, Waterson's Redemption can be messed with. That's what's actually happening with a small squad at the moment. But I'm surprised they haven't done it yet. small force goes to Pale Canyon Chemical, and then they can just make sure that Waterson's Redemption is a full save. And he just needs to be an infiltrator. Okay, so back to Freyr. Looks like the Bravo and Charlie points are in hands of the new conglomerate, and the Alpha capture point is being messed with by... Oh, okay, so it's jump pads and a max fight on top of the turrets looking over the Alpha capture point. The main spawn for the Vanu Sovereignty, where are they all coming from? Sunders, perhaps? Doesn't look like they've actually got a reliable... oh wait, I tell you what's the hard point. They're actually spawning from the Alpha capture hard point. There you go. The new conglomerate, they're holding the upper ground, but they need to be careful from getting hit from behind. All of them are on this upper kind of turret, looking down on the Alpha capture point. Not actually choosing to move down just yet. How are we doing with the names?
I'm literally doing it right now. Should be in about 60 seconds. I'll let you know when.
Okay. Where are these guys going? Oh, the Bravo capture point. So they're actually splitting the numbers. They're going back to the Bravo cap point. Oh, deployed Sunder for the Vanu Sovereignty at the Bravo capture point. They've got themselves the Bravo capture point. The Alpha capture point is flipping. Who's got... No, back to Vanu Sovereignty hands. So 2 minutes 30 to go, and Vanu Sovereignty is slowly taking the base down in their favour. They're going to have to deal with this squad and a half currently coming into the Bravo capture point by the new conglomerate. See these guys.
Alright, we have stats.
Alright, I'll bring it up in a sec. Looks like the new conglomerate forces. Yeah, there's just simply too many of them. They're just steamrolling into the capture point.
Yeah, so you guys are watching the stream. If you're on my statistics page, the PlanetSideBattles.org/match/31, if you just refresh, now you should see people's names showing up in the leaderboard.
Take some ammunition.
Oh, there we go. So top kills is Cyclicious from Solo, VS724, 110 kills so far. That's interesting. I'm going to zoom back a second on the 1 hour marker, roughly 1 hour 8 minutes, and just have a look at who's going what. So no outfitters are top. We can see that most of the Vanu Sovereignty have got the top spots in terms of, but then again, you have to understand that the participant counts per numbers are actually higher. So it's not necessarily true of performance per outfit.
Yeah, I'll be working on some nice
what is unknown weapon 586?
Probably something I've missed in the data.
Yeah, something you've missed. What's going on, dude?
I think actually that is suicides. Is that right at the top?
Suicides?
It's basically when you've been rammed like by a vehicle. It's weapon ID of 0.
So you're telling me that there's been 586 suicides?
Rams, suicides, S-run falling, whatever. It's approximately that. It's just when the weapon ID is 0. It's not also going to fix.
Okay, so but we can definitely tell by looking at these weapons, the SVA-88 and the Orion, they're both top dog kills. Now maybe the unknown weapon is something like the Gauss-Saw or something like that. Perhaps it's an NC weapon, but the LA-1 Anchor is in 4th place. And then we drop down to some of the other weaponry. The EM6 is 264. I like that because the EM6 in a CobaltSmash thing is not only the number of bullets you can have, and you can any weapon that gives you 200 bullet clips. I always value pretty heavily. I can. Oh wow! There we go. Sorry, I was like watching the stream. There we go. But the Vanu Sovereignty takes Freyr Amp Station with the capture points.
Yeah, well done to them. That's a very difficult fight on their part.
Scythes. There's 2 scythes and there's 2 Reaver numbers. I'm guessing they're just duplications of themselves.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it's actually accurate.
Yeah, there's many things I've got to sort out, but I'm on with it. It's getting better every day.
Well, we'll come back to that in a little bit later. But now, Vanu Sovereignty, we get a kind of an overlay of the map. There was a small Vanu new conglomerate force taking Pale Solarite. The Vanu Sovereignty is taking that back. Vanna Sovereignty immediately has a cap on Freya Network Compound. That's really, really good. It means that all the NC forces that are fighting at Freya Amp Station are completely locked out and need to redeploy back to Freya Network Compound. Totally shifts the momentum of the fight off of Freya Amp back onto Freya Network Compound. Matheson's Triumph is heating up, although the New Conglomerate forces have 60%, so there's no reason why they should lose Matheson's Triumph, although it's in favour of the Vanu Sovereignty simply because they're fighting on an enemy base. But it looks like the NC have all the capture points. Finally, there's an attack going on at Pale Canyon Chemical. It's only just started, potentially up to a squad. And then also very interesting is Bridgewater's got 30 seconds to go until the New Conglomerate actually attempts to take a base back from the Vanu Sovereignty. Vanu Sovereignty's got air control at the moment, totally pounding the capture point. They've got people outside the cap point running in with 25 seconds to go. This is the Vanu Sovereignty base to lose. There's no reason, and we can already see by the inside that they have forces on the capture point. And they're making safe. It looks like there's a bit too much of an ask without a hard spawn for the NC and didn't have enough numbers, and with the Air Force reinforcement for the Vanu Sovereignty, it didn't look like it was going to happen.
Just for those asking me about the NC names, apparently the guys that are doing it are still struggling to get the NC names. We've got VS character names at the moment.
Okay, and we totally missed the Ellie Amp Station captured by the Vanu Sovereignty. Constant pressure, and they've taken the base. So this is getting pretty brutal in terms of populations. We've passed the all-important 70% marker. Cobalt VS have done what... Should I? Yeah, sure. Cobalt VS have done what Negator... no, sorry. Help me out here. Roy Awesome couldn't do. My apologies, Negator. I should have never sullied your name. What Roy Awesome never could. They got 70%.
Roy not awesome.
Yeah. So you wonder if the NC Force Commander is going to have to commit seppuku. Sudoku. Sorry. Because this is... Cobalt is crushing Cobalt right now. I mean, seriously crushing Cobalt.
Cobalt should feel ashamed.
And Cobalt should just say, yeah, we're doing pretty well.
No.
Am I correct in saying that Emerald plays Cobalt next in the schedule?
I shall have a look.
Well, we're currently looking at the Ellie Amp Station. Nope, large number of lightnings and thunders for the NC force at Ellie Amp Station, but it doesn't matter because the small force, just as happened at the Freya Network compound, has backhacked Ellie Barracks complex. Doesn't look like there's perhaps enough numbers to make it stick, but the cap that was going on at Freya Network compound is sticking. And it's got about 3 minutes to go. But another interesting fight with about 90 seconds to go is the cap at Pale Canyon Chemical. Now that's a good twin double building. If I can actually spot my... There he is.
Yeah,
looks like the New Conglomerate's going to get the cap point back.
I haven't got any information about the factions that are playing on that day, unfortunately.
It's fine. So it'll be on the schedule. I can look at it later, but don't really need to look that far ahead. So in terms of Pale Canyon Chemical, the southern double building is firmly in the hands of the the New Conglomerate, whereas the northern building is in the hands of the Vanu Sovereignty. But it simply looks like the New Conglomerate has got far too many numbers. Doesn't look like there's enough VS, and they've already lost the capture points, so the base is now going against them. And they're outnumbered 60 to 30, so there you go. Or 65-35. Bridgeward is definitely being saved with the Vanu Sovereignty. They've definitely got number advantage. The fight is stacking out Ellie Barracks. That's still going down. That's huge for Vanu Sovereignty. And the fact is, this is smart because the Vanu Sovereignty is staying at Bridgeward to make the full save. Then they'll move over to Old Shore Checkpoint so that they can't be backhacked or stopped or whatnot. The pressure from Ellie Barracks is staying, and it's very impressive that it's actually managing to hold onto the capture point. So they're just forcing the NC to fight on the bases that they dictate, which we'll go have a look at now. Although it does look like the capture point is finally perhaps going to be, say, reinforcements to the Vanu Sovereignty with in terms of squad beacons. But you'd have to say with the spawn room, the motion, NC's got to definitely have the advantage of taking the base back. And in terms of population numbers, they've got... Oh, it's 50-50, but with the squad beacons, they don't have Sunders. So, vehicle... Okay, so it's It's deceptive because there are more NC vehicles, which means there'll be less NC in the base, and they have less pop, and there's more VS without vehicles and no spawn, so it's kind of a toss, because the VS doesn't have a spawn, but they have more people in the cap point. NC have fewer people in the cap point, but they have the base and the vehicles to prevent any spawns. So, to be honest, it's up to NC to lose this base. The VS is going to be a very hard ask with no active spawn and only 56% population to actually take Ellie Barracks Complex. In terms of Pale Canyon Chemical, sorry, go ahead.
I'm just looking at Friday Network. VS is strongly in the point. NC are just reinforcing it now with 37 seconds left. It's very, very likely the VS are going to get this.
They want to secure their Freyr because it's such a weak thing. The new conglomerate forces are here. They've got a galaxy overhead. The light assault flew up and threw C4 in its belly. It's not enough C4, but it was a nice try by the Vanu Sovereignty there. You can see that the motion sensor for the Vanu Sovereignty is giving them perfect vision of all the NC forces just essentially running straight on the capture point and getting annihilated by the... Okay, back push now from the rear by the NC. Getting to the point, have they got enough numbers? They're on the point, both forces are there, but nope. Vanu Sovereignty takes it. Now, are they already starting a hap on the Traverse? No, they don't have anyone at the Traverse.
1 hour remaining in the match. 1 hour. We're halfway.
74 to 25. Ouch. Right. Now, in terms of Snowshear's being applied pressure, generally, Matheson's Strength is a full save. They are actually trying to take ISO Mining Operation and Rhyme Analytics, but it's only small forces. Peleus Solar Ray is fully safe. Snowshear, as I said, is going down. Pale Canyon Chemical is being reapplied pressure by a half platoon, if not more. 2-to-1 numbers in favour of Vanu Sovereignty at Pale Canyon. Bridge Ward actually is going down again, so we'll go check that out very, very quickly. Yoink. That's in favour of a new conglomerate cap. So what's very kind of how should I put this? Commendable for the NC is they're not giving up. They are definitely trying to apply pressure. They're trying to capture bases, constantly trying to fight back against the Vanu Sovereignty tide that's just swarming them. But it doesn't look like it's enough. I wonder if it's the air game. I wonder if the Vanu Sovereignty's air control is just all powerful, because. It's, the ability to call in reinforcements, pick off the spawns, and then just, soften up the capture point before your infantry goes in. But right now, the Vanu Sovereignty, they've got less population, but they have the capture point crucially. We see some NC Reavers in the Galaxy perhaps bringing reinforcements, but very importantly, even though they've got air and outdoor control, or did have, there's no spawns under. And because there's no spawns under, there's no maxes, there's no general reinforcements. Now, in terms of the south, the Ellie Barracks Complex is got 50 seconds to go. Looks like the Vanu Sovereignty has air control here. So just as the previous base, the attacking faction has air control. They're kind of basically just PPA spamming the spawn room, but...
VS, sorry, NC in real trouble here. Pale Canyon Chemical, 65 seconds. Snowshear, 70 seconds left. And Ellie Barracks just got flipped back to the NC by looks of it, but VS have over.
Oh wow, yeah, they've thrown a lot of population at Snowshear. It's ticked down just enough where they really are applying pressure on it. They want it.
Pale Canyon's just been flipped back. Snowshear though, that's such a base to lose. It really is. It's a large outpost. It's rock hard to defend, to attack because it's Snowshear. They cannot lose that base, and they're about to. 65% VS pop at 55 seconds left. So
fresh Vanu reinforcements have taken back the capture point at Ellie Barracks, which we're seeing Pale Canyon's tipped out in favour of NC, but they've got too many people there. Bridge Ward, half platoon, is been saved by the VS before. They presumably will go for Old Shore again. Ellie Barracks Complex looks like, even though it's 50-50 numbers, it's to be seen. I mean, they are desperately trying. They are you can see the Galaxy reinforcements, you can see some of the maxes. They've got gals in the skies. They're trying to go around the backside. The fact is, air control isn't in the favour of the VS, so there's no reason why the NC can't push in here. They're trying to push in from the back and from the front of the capture point, swarming in. 20 seconds to go. Oh, actually, there is at least some scythes being a nuisance. Just coming in, getting a little kind of pot shot, and then going out. With 11 seconds to go, though.
There's definitely a large little fight going on at Snowshear Watchtower at the A point.
Come there in a sec.
VS heavily want this A point, but NC are doing their absolute best.
Oh, too late. There's a last second ditch push by the new conglomerate, but it was just too late. Just like a couple of seconds, literally a couple of seconds too late. We can see Freyr Network compound has been saved, and Snowshear, as you say, we're going to warp over there now.
Well, Snowshear's just been taken back with the VS, but NC are bringing in a couple of maxes trying to hold that point down.
Oh, 20 seconds to go though with 2 capture points. It's not just the A point. Yes, the NC's got the A point, but they need to get their hands on one of these external Charlie or Bravo points. And the fact is as I see it,
they're all in the tower.
There's Vanu Air Force. There's nothing.
There's a couple of guys moving to B point in an effort, a latched effort to get it, but
with 20 seconds to go, well, okay, he's running. I see the guy. They're running. They're definitely going for it. Is there any defense on the B point for the Vanu?
Oh, NC 448, go for it.
So NC 450 and as you said 448 are on the point, including a max for backup. That's quite important. I mean, what kind of numbers are we talking here? Oh, they've outnumbered 60-40. Very close for the VS. The thing is, if you're VS, you've got 2 squads at Free Network Compound. You can push the Traverse, or you can just... I would dump like all my numbers at Snowshear because it's so close.
That's
like,
right.
Pale Canyon Chemical doesn't really matter so much. Making a Savanelli barracks, I guess it's kind of... If you don't want to move forces too much from the north and south, you know, disrupting the teams. But yeah, your central and northern forces, I would force Snowshear because you're so close. It looks like the Vanu Sovereignty's taken back Bravo briefly. That's mainly because of the Sunder in the south that's offering reinforcements as they're coming back, and they might be able to latch onto B. The Charlie capture point looks like there's too many new conglomerate on the ground floor, including a max. Yeah, so I don't think the VS are going to hold this, or be able to get it back, sorry, because they don't have any spawns here at the moment on the Charlie side.
Although they do, they're in the garage. In the garage just to the north. Not many VS people though.
So I guess the question for you is, will the Vanu Sovereignty warp gate the NC? I mean, Everett Supply Co means that they're at the warp gate, but to take Frostbite Harbour and Two Stone Beach, you think they'll be able to pull that off? I mean, they've got a half platoon applying pressure now at Old Shore.
54 minutes, I think it's possible.
Do you have a rule when somebody gets complete territory? Do we just say, you know what, just give it in, pack it up, you win? I don't think we've ever had that, do we?
I don't think we've never had like a warp gate ever before, but you never know. It's just Service Smash, it's live play.
It's impressive that Cobalt's able to pull this off, and it's shocking that Cobalt's allowed this to happen. So I would probably talk to the guy who split the teams. You know, it's like one team picked all the fat kids. That's kind of feeling at the moment. Maybe we could talk to the reps at the end and see what's going on. Maybe somebody knew what the other team was doing or something. Alright, moving now on to... I'm going to have a look at Old Shore Checkpoint, because the VS are trying to take this like for the 4th or 5th time now. We've got the typical setup of one spawn Sunder in the garage. Yep. Deployment Sunder. And one blockade armor double fury Sunder. Yep. 2 minutes to go. It doesn't look like they've actually got a lot of infantry forces backing them up. NC spawning in squad full from the teleporter building. I honestly don't see the VS taking this base. They simply don't have enough numbers, and yet they are outnumbered 53 to 47. Looks like the NC are also going to take back LA Barracks Complex. I don't think there's enough VS there to kind of really contend. Looks like they came there, they took the base, and then they left. And then again, we look at the... Then again, this base, because of the short proximity of the spawn room, you can come in like with grenade bandolier, throw a whole bunch of grenades, or max crashing if you want to. Now, resources will play an issue, whether or not the Vanu Sovereignty wants to do this. But with 60 seconds to go, populations are still in favour of the new conglomerate, and they still have spawn options. So the Vanu Sovereignty hasn't pulled anything from the LA Amp station to take care of the barracks complex. Can you watch the Old Shore checkpoint? I'm surprised it's still going with 6 seconds to go.
Yeah, will do. Right, so I'm here now. Red Mist are on the point at 8. NC are just coming in, dribs and drabs. No organised sort of thing. There's one Sunder on the point at Old Shore. There's also a Fury Flash wrecking the spawn as well.
Well, in terms of LA Barracks Complex, look, the Vanu Sovereignty are finally serious. They've got maxes, they're charging in. Here comes the final push now of the Vanu Sovereignty onto the capture point with 13 seconds to go. They're still pushing in. It looks like they're able to get onto the capture point. Their maxes are still doing damage. Doesn't look like the NC is able to respond, and no, they've been pushed off the capture point. So it is a last 10-second save by just a swarm of Vanu Sovereignty coming in and making a save. In terms of populations right now, we can see it's not updated on the minimap yet. We're definitely a lot more VS though. Made a save and then the ticker's going to go down. Old Shore, you're right. Wow.
Yep, no NC to be found. They've given up.
Did they go to? Did they try and do the other base? Well, okay, so that's doubly bad for NC. They lose the Ellie Barracks complex hack and they lose the defense of the Old Shore checkpoint. So we're now moving up to 77% for the. And oh wow, it's going to get worse now because the traverse is going to flip in 2 seconds, 1 second, and Pale Canyon Chemical is what, like under a minute here. Let's have a look.
Oh, I'm looking at
79%.
Oh, I've got the VS radar. Wow, that is a lot of numbers. Both buildings are not giving any chance to get in this point. 20 seconds left. And see again, dribs and drabs. No organised push. They're just coming in one by one and getting shot one by one.
It's got to be demoralizing as an NC player here. I mean, what do you do to rally yourself? Do you play for pride? Do you play for honor? I mean, you've still got Matheson's Triumph, so that's a base, and you've still got Snowshoe Watchtower, even though it's close. So those northern bases, but Matheson's Triumph has now been bypassed because of the Warson's Redemption system. 81%. So we're in the 80s now. Frostbite Harbour, big pressure being applied. New Conglomerate are actually back on Ellie Barracks. You see that?
Yeah, I'm seeing that now. So that's one base that may get back.
I don't think there's enough time for the VS. The VS had a lot of time and practice to make a push in. You can see that the New Conglomerate's like, we want this base. You are not going to get this base. So check out the skill suits that's going on in chat.
They're all on the building of A point as well. Various people just like raid death upon you. Actually, guys, I am actually logging the outfits I've got these bases now, thanks to the new API changes. So we'll definitely get to see.
Half a platoon is actually attacking Matheson's Triumph. The capture of Matheson's Triumph is smart because theoretically NC Cobalt could attack the Traverse, Pale Canyon Chemical, ISA mining operations, and Rime Analytics all at once. So it saves 4 bases by forcing the capture of Matheson's Triumph. So it's whether or not the New Conglomerate wants to save Matheson's Triumph to be a nuisance. But that is ticking by, and all 3 capture points are in the hands of the Vanu Sovereignty with at least half a platoon. Snowshoe Watchtower still 2-to-1 number favours of the NC. Probably too many NC at Snowshoe Watchtower at the moment, but they are making a save. But it's a long timer. Frostbite Harbour is still ticking down, 60-40 numbers. Looks like the NC are beginning to spawn in and make the save. Full platoon plus is currently at Ellie Barracks, more than what the VS have at Ellie Amp. So we can see that the NC has made the push in the south, and that's their play, and the VS are still trying to just chip away at extra territories, but you're condensing the New Conglomerate down to closer to the warp gate and to fewer lanes. So it's working in their favour because they can just crush extra numbers. They can crush into smaller spaces and just overwhelm the attackers.
24-48 at Vari Frozen now as well. They've just initiated a hack there.
Oh wow, you're right. So with the Pale Canyon cap going through, they are pushing for Envari Frozen. Do you think they could get the Envari Biolab? Because Biolabs are pretty hard to take, under normal circumstances, at least on live server.
Against NC, you can easily have, double their numbers and still not be able to take the base. We've had this many before.
So NC makes a big redeployment at Frostbite Harbour, 70% population makes a save. The Ellie Barracks complex, the population that was at Barracks has made the save at Frost Harbour, so in theory the New Conglomerate should stay at Frostbite Harbour, make the save, then push back at Old Shore checkpoint. The forces that are at Barracks need to try and maybe get a cap on the Ellie Amp station, that's very hard to do, just to save Ellie Barracks complex from being counter-hacked.
If I was the VS commander, right, if I was the VS commander, I would literally dump all my forces into the south and just give them that moral sort of thing that, haha, we're at your warp gate, what are you going to do? Kind of thing. And it will just dishearten them. It's not all just about the numbers, it's all about morale as well in this kind of game.
Well, the Vanu Sovereignty, they don't have the air control at the moment. They're actually being air camped by the New Conglomerate. And the New Conglomerate forces are pounding away what attackers there are currently at Envari Frozen Reservoir. They don't want to let them get anywhere near the Biolab, which is strange for NC. Normally NC's like, you want to come to the Biolab? Well, yeah, sure, come to the Biolab. Yeah, you can have the base, but no, not today. So,
Was Old McDonald, can't remember.
It's admirable what these Vanu sovereignty forces are being able to pull off. Sub 2 minutes now. They do actually have 50% population. That's probably because they're all actually on the capture point, and whereas the NC are outside, kind of partially in vehicles. There is there's a Valkyrie. There's a Valkyrie with camo, no less. Now there's something you don't see every day. Someone's bought digital at white, I think.
Right, so VS are initiating an attack with Frostbite again. Red Mist are moving in as one very cohesive unit. I actually been following them during PSBL. I remember the first time they started PSBL, they weren't that good compared to say like a Fool or whoever. But recently they have really upped their game. They've absolutely upped their game.
Tech camo, thank you Justicia, go screw yourself. Not everyone knows every single camo. I was just reading Twitch chat about what the Valkyrie's tech camo was. Anyway, 6 seconds to go, and very frozen. The Vanu Sovereignty are still here. In fact, if anything, they're reinforcing because they've got a max now. Really good use of engineer turrets. Which, they still haven't fixed the Luke Mom no hands. "35 seconds to go. What are all these forces of NC doing in the north? What's the Galaxy doing out on the outside? It's all up to the north. They've got motion sensor down. Where are these guys going?
Lara frozen, 20 seconds.
The spawn sunderer for the VS is to the north, but I don't understand why the VS, so the new conglomerate forces are running to the north, when realistically they should be going for the capture point with the timer that is. And it's such difficult for the Vanu Sovereignty to get to the capture point from the north, so there's no point going there. Realistically, you should be pushing on the cap point. But I tell you what, VS is going to get this base.
And very frozen.
Yeah, and very frozen. Even though the res grenades on the point, oh, it was close. They almost had enough people on the point to prevent the cap, but it just wasn't enough. And the Vanu Sovereignty takes another base from the new conglomerate, and they get a very frozen reservoir. It looks like some new conglomerate forces have redeployed to Matheson's Triumph, a last bastion in a sea of purple, and are making a defiant stand, about half platoon numbers. Snowshear's heating up, 50-50 numbers, 3 minutes and 40 to go. The VS have slightly more. Frostbite Harbour is also under contention again, as is Ellie Amp Station, 50-50. I'm going to go check out Frost. Can you check out Snowshear for me with 2 minutes 20 to go, and I'm going to check out Frostbite. Minute 50, we still see some... Yeah, because of the proximity to the warp gate, I mean, we're so close to the new conglomerate warp gate, it's very easy for them to get Air Force and not be picked off. I can see some new conglomerate sunders are taking out the Vanu Sovereignty spawn sunders. It's only a matter of time probably before the squad beacons go down as well. Reaver Air Forces are just basically killing anybody outside who's just exposing themselves. In terms of internally, we do have a reasonable good one squad defense on the upper staircase, but they're beginning to get surrounded by new conglomerate. The new conglomerate has got 65% population, so it'll be hard to see that they can make it safe here. The Ellie Amp Station looks at the Vanu Sovereignty's got 65%, so really, realistically speaking, they should be able to make a save there, especially since it's a large facility cap and it takes about 7 minutes.
I'm just at Snowshear. VS have the NC camped in their own spawn. Again.
Snowshear?
Yeah, Snowshear. Yeah, 1 minute 20. Oh, NC just got a point, but VS have got a lot of numbers, so they'll just get that back.
Sub 60 seconds now on the Frostbite Harbour, and it's a good defense by the Vanu Sovereignty team. They are watching all the entry points, trying to kind of hold back the NC forces. They're doing an extremely effective job being outnumbered 2 to 1, considering they have to watch like 5 different entrances.
There's actually Red Mist over there, by the way. They're doing very well to hold that point.
In the actual numbers, 68% NC now, with galaxies overhead and their own NC spawn sunders underneath. 20 seconds to go. This is actually quite astonishing. I wonder if the new conglomerate are actually spawning on the sunder underneath and simply can't gain access quickly enough now to the capture point. Here they're coming from the double doors from the back. This is the final push. If they can't get there in the next 5 seconds, the problem is the capture point isn't above, it's downstairs. So this Max really needs to buy time. Turn around, kill the guy. No, don't run to the capture point. Oh wow, there you go, they get the base though, that's astonishing. So, the first base, with 41 minutes to go, the first by the warp gate is captured. The question is, now that they've got Frostbite Harbour, they could, if they want to, dump people on Two Stone Beach and Everett Supply Co. Now, Matheson's Triumph still 3-1 numbers in favour of VS now, but it's a long cap going. Snowshoe Watchtower seems where the pressure is, and it's all NC numbers at Frostbite Harbour. Looks like they're going to try and take it back. We'll see what that is. That was a nice kind of a play there, watching all the entrances. I have to wonder how the spawn or the control of the NC was at that base. Right, 2 minutes to go with 2 capture points. So a third capture point being the Alpha one would seriously speed this up. What kind of air forces have we got? Okay, we see some reinforcement air forces coming from Cobalt's VS air forces. Looks like they've also got themselves an annoying little harassment PP harasser kind of on the tubes, although...
I'm just looking at the Yell chat Frostbite Harbour, seeing what people are saying. Apparently, the NC has a platoon that aren't following orders. And apparently the air told us to go F ourselves.
So perhaps some freedom, you don't tell me what to do, is going on with the NC.
America!
Except it's all Europe, but yeah.
Yeah.
Matheson's Triumph was 1 minute 20, 1 minute 30. The points are actually flipping back and forth. I'm watching Snowshoe if you want to go watch Matheson's Triumph, because both of them are sub 60 seconds now. Oh, and even worse, the A point is flipping now for the Vanu Sovereignty. They've actually get somebody on the A point. It looks like Light Assault is being a nuisance. They've flipped the timer down to 7 seconds. The A point still being contested, so it's gone from 60 seconds down to 5 seconds, 3 seconds. A point still in contention. Looks like the NC is going to get the A point back. Doesn't matter. Snowshoe Watchtower now falls to the Vanu Sovereignty. We are at 84%.
And at A point, at what Max's Triumph, 3 points to the VS now. Actually, I haven't said that. There is a max on the A point. Ha! 3 medics are trying to knife this single max at the A point. I think the max is out of ammo.
Didn't work. I can see the max is still alive. Although he is kind of wounded. He's about third health.
Very wounded. NC are finally coming in now.
They're going to get the alpha capture point, but it is still, what, sub 2 minutes when the point finally flips through? No, it's going to be 3 minutes. Oh, but crucially, the Charlie point's also being contested with 2 people behind. Now, the thing is, with the Vanu forces that you had at Snowshoe, do you attack Anvari Barracks? Do you attack Anvari Biolab? Because you're actually going to see 2 squads there. Or do you continue to apply pressure and just send everybody from Snowshoe over to Matheson's Triumph? Try and recreate the Waterson-Matheson fight.
I'd personally just dump all my people at Max's Triumph and lose a few bases, then that means then you don't have that annoyance to deal with.
Check the numbers coming across the bridge now for the new conglomerate forces at Matheson's Triumph.
Yeah, they definitely want that back. Well, as I say, I personally, if I was the VS commander, just dump everybody at Max's Triumph and just get it over with.
The thing is, there's such a population sink for the new conglomerate. Make them pay for it. Make the save in Frostbite Harbour. Apply pressure on LA Barracks Complex. If the enemy really wants to go for Matheson's Triumph, fine, let them take it. You apply pressure on 3 different bases, because right now they're playing for 90% territory. Or maybe want to apply pressure on the Warp Gate. I mean, if I was the Force Commander now, you really want to... Cobalt really wants to rub the salt in Cobalt.
Well, having said that, Anvari is falling. They've just had all 3 points, but it looks like they took one back. If they get a Ghost Cap Anvari, that's going to be a huge embarrassment to the NC.
There we go, Anvari.
Oh, it's a 4-point base Anvari, isn't it?
Is it? No, it's a 3-point Anvari Biolab.
Oh, what
it's the Charlie point that's under being held by the NC, basically preventing it from being a sub 2 minute base. It's only small forces for the Vanu Sovereignty. It looks like they're potentially going for a gen attack. It's really only, it's very small numbers at the moment though.
FHSP, I don't know who they are. They're at B point right now, keeping the gen ticking. Gen's got 30 seconds to go. All they need is C point back. I don't understand why they're just not got a single guy.
Well, this is the thing. C point makes it a 2 minute base. I mean, the thing is, the NC are going to have to freak out. They're going to have to go somewhere. They can't. The thing is, they've got so many fires. We see the VS have made the save from Frostbite Harbour, and they're still applying pressure on LA Barracks. And the attack on Anvari Biolab is now sucking. So most of the NC forces are at Matheson's Triumph and Anvari Biolab. So they're losing Anvari Barracks. So they need to make a quick save of the Anvari Biolab and to get back to the barracks.
That's right.
They're swarming the A point. The VS don't have the numbers to push on the SCU though. It's too exposed.
No, definitely not. But I am considering. I'm amazed that they've not got B point back yet. There's 70% pops. There's a single squad on B point here. FHSP. Got to find out who they are, and they're just holding this general room like a boss.
So while this is going on, we'll just go outside and have a quick look at some stats here. Total kills today is about 16,000. That's because we are playing lower numbers. We're only playing about 190 versus 190. At the kill graph, we can see that it's about 1,000, roughly about 1,000 more kills to VS. I mean, it's not like they've got a significant lead in terms of kill count. It's really just, I think, the Force Commanders outplaying maybe who they have control over. I mean, if it's true that the NC really does have a platoon gone rogue, the inability to move forces where you need to is possibly making an impact there. In terms of map timeline, there's been, maybe a few instances where the NC have kind of slowly come back. They sort of stabilized roughly in the middle of the base kind of the time, and then so at the beginning basically it ticked away. Then they stabilized for about half an hour to 40 minutes, and then it's just fallen away now with the pressure. And the delay was probably just the amount of time it took the Vanu Sovereignty forces to soften up the large outposts and towers, and then once those fell, it's just, you can see by the bases, it's just totally in favour of the Vanu Sovereignty. Right, let's see what's going on. Frostbite Harbour's going back in favour now of the new conglomerate, so we're going to go over there now.
I'm just having a look at Mattis's Triumph. VS have actually dumped a few more forces here. I think the
Alright, come over, have a look.
There are actually out of Bari now.
They've got Bravo and Charlie, and they're trying to get themselves the after capture point. We'll go over the player stats in a second as soon as I get to myself to the A point.
Now VS have a lot of air support at Mattis's Triumph, and tanks actually of all things. Actually, we're not seeing that much armour play today, have we, considering? It's been pretty much all air at the moment, isn't it?
You can still cut this out.
Oh, and they have 8 point Mattis's Triumph. So, yeah, they'd have to flip the map back. So this means 1 minute 30 left at Mattis's Triumph. If you're a speakerphone, I can't hear you, by the way.
Gentlemen.
I was just looking at the go away, Emerald. We don't want to talk to you.
No.
Dude, we're streaming right now, Cobalt versus Cobalt. Your timing is impeccable. Get lost.
I see. Fair enough.
Oh dear.
You're in the streaming channel. We're streaming a game. Anyway, 33 minutes to go. 84% to VS, 15% NC, Cobalt, and with 60 seconds to go, it looks like they are finally going to put their killer death blow on the island of blue in a sea of purple in the middle of Esamir.
Yes. So the VS commander did what I thought they should have done, which is
just send a platoon on the capture point.
Yeah, just do that and just get it over.
Thing is, they're fighting now. The whole NC force has been sent to Frostbite Harbour, so all of them are basically NCs slowly getting bottlenecked in the warp gate, which means to get from the warp gate to Matheson's Triumph, you have to fly there or you have to mass redeploy. And if you mass redeploy, you need your squads and platoons to pay attention and do what you tell them to. And with 20 seconds to go, it seems to be too much of a logistical challenge to get there and then kill off the spawns. There's no air force, there's no command control, we can see from the NC forces, so Vanu Sovereignty is just going to get themselves Matheson's Triumph. And 3, 2, here we go. So that secures now the entire centre for the Vanu Sovereignty, and now we're down to, the gameplay is in play. Everett Supply Co, LA Barracks Complex and Two Stone Beach are all under attack, and Vari Barracks with like half a platoon is being crushed, and we still have 30 minutes to go. I tell you what, if we do get to a whitewash where all territories are lost, I think we'll just call it.
Yeah, I think so.
So we can see now that the Vanu Sovereignty has got themselves deployed Squad Sunderer on the teleporter that leads into the biolab. They've got themselves the control of the capture point bridge. With 25 seconds to go, we're not seeing any NC forces coming out of the Vari Barracks. Now guys, let's be clear here, the populations are not mega stacked. It is still 51% to 48%, so we're within like margin of doubt, no more than like 10 guys.
I'm just looking at the player statistics stuff that we use to track these. 189 on VS and 181 on NC.
So there you go. It is realistically just proper crushing here. Okay, so Anvari Barracks falls now in hands of the Vanu Sovereignty. Now it's a proper biolab fight. If you want to get further south into the Anvari Biolab, Southern Bank, Jaeger's Fist, Jaeger's Crossing, you need to push through the biolab. However, so the cap, because of the warp gate, Frostbite Harbour is always going to be exposed, and we see now over a platoon of the NC are just mega pushing on the Frostbite Harbour, so we'll go there next. Everett Supply Co. small numbers. Looks like the NC's making a save in LA Barracks Complex. At 2 stone, however, it's still going down, however, in the Vanu Sovereignty favour.
I was at 2 stone. There's a lot of NC air that's just been pulled to take away the VS Sundra, so they have no external spawns at the moment. NC Galaxy has just dropped a squad. They're coming up to the A point now. There's a lot of VS waiting for them. NC Max is just ripping things apart though, as you would in some very small close quarters like this. I just heard a proxy Max and staircase, so they're aware it's coming up. 3 Maxes coming in right now. Absolutely tearing things apart at the point.
Which base is this?
2 stone. There you go. NC pretty much have this back. Squishes are moving to point now. Still
Half an hour left in the match. 30 minutes left.
VS is still... Actually, VS have just destroyed the Maxes and just got it back. Wow, this is an amazing save of VS. Excellent work. It's Red Mist again. Those, as I say, those guys are really kicking ass tonight. So, again, they've just stopped an NC resecure with no external spawn points.
70 seconds to go. They've got an outside beacon. And we're not seeing like the typical cases of lag that we would see perhaps in other heavy kind of server smash fights. It seems, at least to me as a camera viewer, smooth. Perhaps, you know, player skill is coming more into it.
So 116 millisecond ping I'm getting, so that's very good for the server. I don't know what NC are going to do here. 55 seconds. They're trying again at the small stairs leading up to the point, but there's this whole squad of VS just waiting for it to come in.
They're still coming in. They're also rotating these beacon frequently. You know, allowing the reinforcements to come in, because the NC is doing a good job at killing off the beacons all the time. The squad leadership has clearly been rotated. 34 seconds. You'd think in any normal instances the NC has this. The NC would totally have this, but unfortunately, as you see, they're going in piecemeal. Medic needs to throw in a res grenade. Was that a res grenade for the NC?
Yes, res grenade.
It was an NC res grenade. So here they go. This is the last push right now for the NC.
The thing is, the VS.
But the VS are all in one corner. One sticky grenade in that corner would just kill them all.
More zombies coming in. And just getting mowed down. Oh no, the VS are down.
Oh, is this it? Is this finally it with it? Yeah, reinforcements from all directions. But look, what kind of numbers did that pull? 62% of NC to pull that off. And they've been out-popped at Frostbite, so they've lost the Frostbite capture to make the save on 2-stone. And now, admittedly, you don't want to get cut off, so it's fair enough. But the VS have now applied extra pressure on a very Biolab, so I'm going to go there next and see what's going in the Biolab, because they out-popped the NC. Alright, so 2 capture points are in contention. They're held now by the Vanu Sovereignty. That is the Bravo and Charlie capture point. Looks like we've still got Max and Max fighting going on. The Vanu Sovereignty actually has control outside, doing a spawn room contain of the SCU generator. Sort of the SCU itself, that's the spawn control unit. The spawn generator that protects the SCU has got 20 seconds to go. Now there is a counterflank, however, crucially, by the new conglomerate forces onto the Bravo capture point with Maxes. So if they can make a save on that generator, because I don't think the NC realizes what's coming behind them, maybe they do now. I was going to say the VS's best attempt to take this base would be killing the SCU. Even if the gen goes down, this reinforcement of NC Max is the back. Alright, the gen's down. Do they still have control outside of the SCU? They do. Alright, so they still have a threat from the rear from the Bravo capture point and from the spawn room. Now it's to be seen. They've got... Is it actually ticking down?
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. 60 seconds to go. Here we go. So... so many NC though swarming in from all directions. It's admirable that they've managed to get the actual attack on the SCU itself, but...
I won't count them out yet. It is only a 60-second flip, so it's all it needs is 40 seconds more.
Yeah, but 40 seconds when they're right on your doorstep is huge. They need reinforcements here, because look, I mean, they are actually now outnumbered, so the VS forces are outnumbered, and the ability to respawn in is seriously hampered. A big VS resonate. 1 max. They're preventing any form of save on the SCU, but the problem is even if the SCU does go down, so long as they get mopped up.
15 seconds. I don't think they're going to get it. VS are just looping around and around the SCU.
Oh wait, there's an engineer going for it right now.
He's getting
Oh no, there's a medic knifing. There's a VS, there's a new conglomerate knifing. Just knife. The VS knifing, just deploying. They've got so many of them trying. No, they don't. They should be killing people, not necessarily. Oh wow.
They've got all points. They've got all points. 20 seconds left on the base.
But the thing is, but look at this. Look how many engineers. There's so many new conglomerate engineers repairing the SU for the Vanu sovereignty. Because 17 seconds ago, now they're beginning to spread out. They're beginning to get the Charlie capture point. Can they get the Bravo capture point? They are hauling ass upstairs. Looks like they're going to get A, and they're beginning to flip B. That was close. I mean, that was like super baller close.
That was too close. I'd be very concerned if I was that close.
So what else are we going on? Frostbite Harbour has been saved by the Vanu sovereignty. The new conglomerate looks like they were perhaps doing a small attack on the Alliamps. That's been saved by the Vanu sovereignty, so they may apply pressure against LA Barracks, but they haven't been unable to take it. So really, the problem is now we're condensed now to 2 real fighting lanes. Or 3 if you want. Anvari Biolab condensed, Frostbite Harbour condensed, and LA Amp Station. So there's not much tactical foreplay going on in terms of where you need to go or how you send forces. So it's definitely now in the favour of the NC. Can Vanu sovereignty get 90%? Well, it really depends if they can probably get the key base is 2-stone. 2-stone is exposed. It's exposed by Jaeger's Crossing, and it's exposed by the actual warp gate. And fighting outside the enemy warp gate is really, really hard. I reckon if they really wanted to do it, Everett Supply Co or LA Barracks Complex, probably LA Barracks Complex is the best chance if you want to get an additional territory. And we can see that the new conglomerate, they do have an air force. And the problem is, with them being so close to their warp gate, if they get attacked, they just need to afterburner into the warp gate and then they're safe. So it makes it really, really hard for the VS to get air dominance. Plus, the tech plant doesn't matter now because they're on the warp gate. So we actually do see some vanguards, new conglomerate vanguards coming in, basically being used to protect their spawn sunders, applying pressure on Frostbite Harbour, and really to kill off any spawn sunders that the Vanu sovereignty might use at Everett or LA Supply, every barracks complex.
Yeah, you're quite right. They've got a lot of air out now because they're right next to the warp gate and they're just going to do nothing against them. I'm seeing a lot of NC armor coming in at Frostbite now, actually. It looks like they're gearing up for an attack on it. And there you go, it's flipped. Looks like NC are pouring a lot of numbers into Frostbite. They're trying to get them off their warp gate.
So they've got number advantage at the Biolab, and they've got number advantage quite heavily at the Frostbite Harbour. Some Vanu sovereignty frozen. Looks like... Okay, so big Vanu forces, they're making a big play for LA Barracks Complex. Yeah. In terms of populations, LA Barracks Complex is a big play for the Vanu sovereignty, and Frostbite Harbour is the big play for the NC. And it's a 50-50 contention on the Biolab.
Have you seen the southwest of LA Barracks? There's 4 Sunders there. Why do they need that many? And why are they not on the point? Actually, one of them's camouflaged to look like an NC Sunderer. That's quite funny.
I'm at LA Barracks Complex. Where's these Sunders?
Southwest. Just down the hill.
Oh, wow. That's... Oh, yeah, I tell you what. You look at it from a distance, you're like, that's not Vanu.
That's an NC Sunderer, that.
Yeah. Alright, fair dues. So it's fairly quiet. Alright, no Vanu sovereignty. New conglomerate has got themselves a squad beacon. Looks like they're trying to maybe C4 some of the weaker blockade Sunders. Maybe bringing additional reinforcements. They got Reavers on site. I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe air hammer. In terms of population-wise, it's still very heavy in favour of the Vanu sovereignty. Looks like the VS are beginning to send some more people to Frostbite Harbour. NC's got a small force at Anvari Barracks, and it's still got slight overpop at Anvari Biolab.
I was looking at LA Barracks. VS is still in very much in control, but NC are bringing in a couple of Reavers, but that's it. Nothing else, just 3 Reavers in the sky, 4 Reavers.
It's like they're just trying to get some easy, cheap kills, but It's not really doing anything with 2 minutes to go.
Well,
Frostbite Harbour is kind of more important because that will flip first. So let's go have a look at that.
Well, somebody did say that the air platoon is not listening apparently on the NC side. This could just literally just be the
Where'd I
farm,
go? Alright, sorry about that.
which is a very bad thing in Smash, obviously.
Here we go. We're over Frostbite Harbour. We can see that Vanguards are actually overhead. I'm not entirely sure how good Vanguards are at suppressing. We can see that. No, see the Vanguards aren't really doing good much work firing on the spawn room. We can see the Vanu forces are. See, if you're going to be a Vanguard, you probably want to be in the riverbed area just to kind of pick on things. And even then, it's debatable. Maybe harassers would work better with like kind of canisters. And we can see that there's mostly unmolested infantry outside the capture point. And they've even got a spawn sunder right outside the cap point. This is pretty big. Okay, it's double walkers, so they're not going to be huge. They've even got a mag rider in and some PPA harasser, so they're going to be really softening up the capture point. We have 60 seconds to go, and you look at the minimap, there's a lot of purple, there's a big redeployment. They actually now have population. I don't see any spawn sunders for the new conglomerate. I'm not sure. Now in comes the Max onto the kind of, yeah, the Max is crushing on the top stairs. They're going to get the cap point back. So this is big now because the Vanu Sovereignty makes the save on Frostbite Harbour, and crucially, they still have additional population advantage at Ellie Barracks Complex, so they make a base save and they make a capture save. It looks like they pulled out all their numbers from the Biolab and then just came to the Frostbite Harbour.
I'm just looking at barracks. NC are picking them up one by one, but they still have the point, and there's no NC at the point. There's one guy.
The thing is, if you're fast VS, you can also redeploy from Frostbite, leave some forces there to babysit the cap point, and then who can get to Ellie Barracks Complex? Now it's, can the NC make a save? That's the thing, and it looks like they are.
The VS said literally just redeploying now. There's a Sunder right next to the point at Ellie Barracks, and the movement is right in there. They're just coming in one by one, but it's not a huge amount of people coming through.
Nah, this guy's going to get picked off.
Nah, they're going to lose that Sunder. They've got to move in now, or else they'll lose it. Now here they come. They're spawning in now. One squad's worth, about 2 squads worth now. At Ellie Barracks, approximately north of it.
But the Sunder's still alive. I think it's been like frantically repaired. Slowly getting swapped now. The NC's on all sides. Looks like they're throwing down some AV mines. That's it. Just needs one little shot. Boom. There you go.
However, VS are bringing in Sunderers from the west.
Yep, we can see that. Did they bring that in from?
Yeah, there's the NC coloured one.
Oh, they rear hacked the Everett Supply Co. So they hacked Everett Supply Co. and they're bringing in additional vehicles. The thing is, the NC that were fighting at Frostbite Harbour have now all redeployed to kind of Ellie Barracks. And it looks like they're trying to applying pressure at Anvari Frozen Reservoir and Anvari Barracks itself. Very heavy numbers fighting outside the Biolab. We actually have a Vanu Sovereignty Valkyrie force currently hovering over Ellie Barracks Complex.
Yes.
Is that due to the... Oh, I'll tell you why. Because if you want to get a Galaxy, you have to go to the very awkward Galaxy terminal on the tech plant, or you get from the Warp Gate. There's... Actually, does Ellie Tower have a Galaxy spawn? Oh, never mind, I thought it would be the... Certain continents like Hossen have awkwardness when it comes to pooling galaxies.
Yes, it does. Ellie Tower does have a Galaxy.
Alright, then it's really not that hard, so I don't know why they're using Valkyries. Maybe they just want it for the maneuverability, the nimbleness or whatnot.
Remember just saying, yeah, we're beating you to shreds and using Valkyries.
The thing is that PPA spam harassment at the barracks. They've got 59% to 41 advantage here, so it's in the VS favour. VS have got population advantage at Frostbite Harbour and at Elite Barracks. They do 50-50 and Vari Barracks, that's in the kind of the west middle, and on Vari Frozen Reservoir. So it's interesting. I wonder, well, to be seen whether or not the VS sacrificed the west. I don't expect them to sacrifice the west. They'll probably grab the capture point, start it ticking down, and then send the appropriate number of forces to the west to make a save.
Alright, here we go. So Ellie Barracks is flipping back to the VF. There's easily a 4 platoon here now.
They got spawn sunders and they got the external support, and there's nothing really stopping them, from going inside or getting rid of their spawns.
That's right. Now, that entire platoon is in the base, in the actual buildings.
Yeah, and I don't think they have a spawn sunder. We need to have a look. Yeah, they do. They do have a spawn sunder in the north. They've got 2 spawn sunders.
The 5 spawn sunders. I'm not going to say where because people are listening, but
So, I mean, they are kind of set up, and you're right, they've got maxes. So now with 2 minutes 40, the Frostbite Harbour, the new conglomerate redeployed, they now have population advantage, but that's a 3-minute 30-second cap, where importantly, the LA Barracks is a 2-minute 30 cap, so the Vanu Sovereignty can capture the new conglomerate base at LA Barracks, and then redeploy to Frostbite Harbour, which actually they have the cap point anyway, in time. So they can get a cap and save a cap at the same time. And then also, they've got numbers now in Varia Frozen Reservoir and in Varia Barracks, so they're saving those 2 caps as well. So they're now going back in favour of the Vanu Sovereignty. So it's all working in favour now, currently, of the VS. Are they maxing up in the spawn room of LA Barracks complex? It looks like they are.
I don't know, the VS have their own maxes. And they have a line of turrets ready to run them down.
Oh, here we go. This isn't a lot of maxes, though. This is only about 5 or 6. And there's... okay. Oh, they're being PPA spammed from the roof. C4 and grenaded from the roof as well. Absolutely murderous Aegis shields charging in. The engineer turrets. There's actually only a small token force of Vanu forces on the capture point. There's no support for the NC maxes. They're all just getting picked off. None of the NC infantry actually was able to get inside. It was all mostly maxes, and they all just got decimated from the upper staircase by the VS.
Oh, a single grenade. I went near the turret line, just took out 5 people. That was a good grenade.
Quick reses though, right?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Oh, Max charging up onto the upper staircase, trying to see what damage they can. Still an effective fire line with all the medic support, and with 60 seconds to go, the NC is going to get more and more desperate here.
First, I'd just tell my guys, get on point, get on point.
Oh, no, this is another important thing. As we were saying, the populations are still relatively similar, but LA Barracks Complex is less than 60 seconds, but also importantly, Two Stone Beach and Everett Supply Co are both under attack with population numbers in favour of the VS. That is the attackers.
Wow.
So this is pretty huge. I mean, as the NC guy, do you then abandon LA Barracks Complex and then make the save on Everett Supply and Two Stone? And then how do you assign numbers and forces to do it?
And all it takes is the people at LA Barracks to just hit you, redeploy, go back to Everett Supply. Go forward to Everett Supply.
15 seconds to go. Doesn't look like the NC is going to do anything. We check the populations and they're down to 42%. They're really just running in streamline, like piecemeal, one at a time. That's not going to go anything. So with 5 seconds to go, the VS are going to get another base, going to push their advantage ever so slightly higher. 89%. Right, which base? Two Stone and Everett. Looks like Two Stone is population advantage of the NC. Everett Supply Co. The problem is the VS are actually closest to Everett Supply Co. So they could, in theory, redeploy if there's a Sunder at Everett Supply Co.
There's multiple of them here.
Looks like VS Sunder is looking to deploy.
There's one already deployed. The VS are absolutely pouring out of it now. There's one that's sort of struggling to get into the garage for some reason.
Yeah. It's a lot of NC Reavers air hammering the roof though. Trying to make some kind of dent. So we can see the new conglomerate forces pushing on the balcony, getting rid of some of the beacons. But they're being flanked from behind from the Sunder that's just deployed to the east.
VS are coming in now and chopping them apart. They're almost there. See them on the map.
70 seconds to go. Capture point still being very redoubtably defended by the Vanu Sovereignty forces in the double building. No max is being used by either side at the moment. Lots of reinforcements coming in. High ground. Oh wow, the streaming of reinforcements of the Vanu Sovereignty just pouring in on over from the east side. This is all the numbers that were currently at LA Barracks. Yet LA Barracks has been entirely emptied. Everybody has come to Everett Supply Co. It's roughly 50-50. Two Stone Beach is also 70 seconds. We are on the verge of a warp gate at the moment.
We're on the verge of 90%, which has never been done before in this ever service map ever. This is actually the highest 30% now, ever.
Watching this Everett Supply Co. with 30 seconds to go, I don't see the new conglomerate forces. Do you think they've resigned and given up? I just don't see them making any organised push towards the capture point. It's just, maybe it's a bit too laggy, maybe it's a bit too grindy, I don't know, but there's really good defences by the VS. I
think it's morale. As I said, if you can really kick them in the teeth at their home base, at their home hot gate, yeah, that's all it's needed. Make them disheartened and lose faith. And there
3
you go,
seconds,
that's
2 seconds, and there's still a constant reinforcements. Vanu Sovereignty, 91%. They've pushed Cobalt down to single-digit territory, and now we're going to warp over to Two Stone. Lots of air forces from the Reavers. The capture point is actually flickering. The VS have lost the capture point at Two Stone. NC makes a save. They are not warp-gated yet. With 11 minutes to go, they are not warp-gated yet. The Biolab is under attack again. 60% population advantage. I think as the VS commander, you need to defend your Frostbite cap and your Everett supply cap, and then also apply pressure to Two Stone. So there's over a platoon of New Conglomerate at Two Stone.
Guess what? I see a sea of Sunderers coming in from Frostbite to Two Stone.
So the New Conglomerate Yell chat is saying, "Play Server Smash," they said. "It'll be fun," they said. Guess what faction's saying that?
I never guessed that.
Well, I mean, player scale is one thing, but I guess force commander control and everyone kind of falling and working together as a big team, and I suppose if it just falls apart, we see what happens here. If this was a standard alert, it'd be crushing. Oh. Now, the thing is, NC's reinforced Envari Biolab. If you can check the Biolab out for me, it's over a platoon, possibly going on 2 platoons, fighting at the Biolab. The Vanu forces, there's not really many at the Frostbite Harbour or the Everett Supply Co. I wonder if they're going to try and force the Biolab, or if they're regrouping, or are they going to go for Two Stone?
10 minutes left in the match.
Oh, vehicle push coming in for Two Stone.
They're definitely not pushing the Biolab. The NC are just absolutely swarming that Biolab. They don't want.
Big Vanu Sovereignty vehicle kind of armor column is pushing from Frostbite Harbour towards Two Stone Beach. The numbers are already reaching 50-50 percentages at Two Stone Beach. Spawn Sunderers are coming in from the east side and setting up. Problem is that the Vanu Sovereignty is going to have to contend with a lot of their New Conglomerate's Air Force, because they're so close to their warp gate. And there's a lot of vehicles, but I'm not seeing a lot of infantry on the ground yet. They need to get this upper kind of platform to prevent the rockets from the heavy assaults of the NC kind of stopping them. And they are on the lower ground. They still have spawn Sunderers, repair Sunderers keeping up. And they've got lightning forces, so it doesn't look like the NC is going to be able to kill off all the spawns. They are actually on the capture point, slowly beginning to get their hands on it. In terms of population numbers, they are on 57%. There's 2 squads at Frostbite Harbour of NC, but they're not actually capping it yet. Everett Supply Co has more VS there, unless the numbers haven't updated. It's 50-50 on the Envari Biolab. So it's really coming down to Two Stone Beach. With 60-40%, the VS have got population advantage, and they have 2.5 minutes. There's 8 minutes and 20 seconds left in the Server Smash, so it is entirely possible that the Vanu Sovereignty is going to warp gate the New Conglomerate.
They're depopping it and Envari, just shoving everybody at Two Stone. I think that's what they're doing.
I think the real question here is not how good did Cobalt play and how bad did Cobalt play, but who balanced the teams, right?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, it could always be down to the force commander that's not reacting quick enough as well. I mean,
But the game plan, so it's not necessarily the skill of the individual player, but the game plan of the force commander has a big impact as well, you're saying.
Exactly, and also it's not necessarily the teams themselves and who selected them per se. It's as I say, it could be entirely the force commander's fault.
Mm-hmm. Well, the New Conglomerate is trying to push back out an Envari Barracks and Envari Frozen Reservoir. So I mean, they're definitely defending their Biolab, making sure you won't get this, and they're pushing them back. But now the Two Stone Beach, I don't see how the New Conglomerate's going to make a save here unless they come in with galaxies from the warp gate. Sunderers are set up as a bulldogging force, totally spawning the spawn room. Check the total kills near the end. We're nearly approaching 22,000 total kills. We see that the Vanu Sovereignty is slowly gaining a lead, almost about 2k above the New Conglomerate forces.
7 minutes left.
And you see the map timeline, it's just been a continuous stream. Not like catastrophic in all ways, but it's just almost a linear graph in favour of the time it takes the base to flip.
So 55 seconds left on the timer at Two Stone. VS are just camping the spawn room. That's all they're doing, just camping it, and rightfully so.
There's a half platoon of NC Ice, the Southern Warp Gate. They're outpopped, the Nuke Conglomerate's outpopped at Frostbite Harbour, trying to do it in a cap there. Their attacks on Anvari Frozen Reservoir have been stopped, and the Anvari Barracks cap that's 50-50 is still going in favour of the Nuke Conglomerate, which means for the time being the Biolab is safe. But Two Stone, crucially, is being capped over 2 platoons, outnumbered 2-1. Literally, the entire Vanu Sovereignty forces at Two Stone. They can afford to stay at Two Stone, make the... Oh wow, check the harasser force by the New Conglomerate coming from the south, trying to do something about the Sunders. It's valiant, but the problem is they simply don't have enough time because the cap started on the 2-minute marker here for the Vanu Sovereignty. And they're going to get this in 3 seconds, and this is it, warp gated.
There we go.
We've
Wow.
lost the facility.
This is the first ever warp gate in any of our Service Smashers ever. This is history made today.
Cobalt, warp-gated Cobalt.
Roy Austin would be proud.
As Emerald, are you terrified of
They
Cobalt?
do need one more base to get the
Well,
territory controlled of the...
For example, whoever's playing Cobalt next, are they terrified of Cobalt, or are they, like, fancying their chances? Because, you can look at it 2 different ways. Now, I mean, Cobalt's here, they got Sunders, they're a bit late, they're trying to deploy and set up. The thing is, I don't see how the Vanu Sovereignty is going to let this go. Now, the thing is, the VS... What do they do next? They can't
They
capture
can only
Jaeger's
capture
Crossing.
one more base.
Yeah, they can get Anvari Biolab, maybe, in a quick time. So
No, they can't, because Anvari Frozen Reservoir is ticking.
yeah,
It
but
will take a
there's
minute
enough
to go.
time because the Biolab's a 2.5-minute cap.
Yeah, maybe. They will have to do everything perfectly right now, but probably not.
I hope they don't, because it'll actually screw up the stats, I think.
So
Because on Jaeger, they don't actually capture it.
the entire vehicle force for the Vanu Sovereignty has completely been wiped out at Two Stone Beach. And it's still 50, no, it's not 50-50, it's 2-1. The problem is that, alright, so the Vanu Sovereignty saved Frostbite Harbour. Have they all redeployed to the north? They have, so they've now got population advantage at Anvari Barracks and Anvari Frozen Reservoir. However, they can still lose Two Stone Beach, and the warp gate can be reversed because it's 4 minutes 5 seconds left on the actual alert, and we've got 3 minutes 20 seconds on the cap of Two Stone.
4 minutes left in the match. 4 minutes.
Yeah,
Right.
I'd dump everybody at 2 stone, just save it.
Yeah,
Delay
last
50
4
seconds.
minutes. You're not getting the Biolab anymore.
Oh wait, hold on. It's the same with the alert times, isn't it? The synchronization. They might actually get 2 stone in time.
That's what I'm saying. The New Conglomerate have enough time to get Two Stone before the alert runs out.
No. VS may keep 2 stone in time because the capture times are actually desynced. They're not actually 1 second. They're like 1.1.
Yeah, but it's a minute.
It's like a whole minute difference
It won't
still.
catch up that time. It's like 3 seconds per minute. It's not that much.
That's true. They only need to delay it a few seconds though.
So
Yeah,
if we're looking here at Two Stone, what's going on in the north, and why is there so many populations? A huge population and very so they've got tons of people. The problem is, if they do it right now, the Biolab, like right now, if I could actually spot the Biolab, they could
2 of
capture
the
it.
points are flipping. Not all 3 though. Oh, the
Oh.
third one is going.
The flip 2 stone, or the 2 stone's flickering. I don't know who's on it, but
You check out Two Stone for me. I'm watching the Biolab right now. The fact is, the New Conglomerate just needs to hold 1 point for a few more seconds. 2 minutes 10. It's doable.
It's possible.
It's possible. The Vanu Sovereignty could, at the last moment, get Anvari Biolab.
They need to hold all points for the whole time.
The population numbers are changing. Looks like the NC is 50-50. Two Stone's going more back in favour of the VS in
Big
numbers.
max stress coming to the 8 points in the Biolab.
NC's just mega redeployed to the Biolab. Looks like
Yep.
this pull on the Biolab has forced the NC to maybe leave Two Stone.
VS
the 2
is going to get 2 stone back. They're literally knocking on the door at the point.
Right, so Cobalt is going to trade the potential cap for the Biolab. Or rather, yeah, Cobalt NC is going to trade the keep the Biolab as opposed to kind of fend off a warp gate. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. New Conglomerate would rather keep a Biolab than save a warp gate.
It's still possible. It's still possible. What? Just 20 seconds to spare on the Biolab.
Oh, but you're not kidding. Oh wow, the VS have actually reinforced
Oh, wow.
because this is
Oh my god.
both
Oh,
bases
no,
can
keep
still
on
go.
again.
I'm gonna have to like be on standby to stop my stats.
You watch Two Stone, I'm at Anvari Biolab, alright? Watching the capture points.
No, it's gonna be too late now. The C point's lost.
Ah, the C point's lost. Right, well now the VS needs to go to Two Stone and just make the save. Oh, they've saved VS. They've saved it.
Yeah, they saved it.
But that's what's going to be. I don't think anything else can go through now.
1 minute 18.
No,
That's it. So there you go. That is the final score right there. 93% to 6%. The last one being the Northwestern Warp Gate for the TR. Crushing victory and crushing defeat by Cobalt against Cobalt.
Yeah, 1 minute to go.
Cobalt
Let them play it out. Friendly server smash, impossible.
Something about baguette platoons. I think they're on about the French.
Yeah, the French.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that, Justicia. It's like 10 seconds away from the biolab. They're so close to getting it, but it just will be outside the timer.
Yep, it's too late. Oh, that's a pity.
Don't forget to take a screenshot of the map just before it goes.
Well, I'm taking a look at the timer because I'm doing countdown, so somebody else needs to do it.
You want to do that, Mail?
I can just stop the stats straight away.
Alright, here we go. Just a little bit too late on the biolab.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. End of match. Congratulations, VS, with 93% against the NC's 6%. Can the two force commanders please make their way to the interview room for the post-match?
Oh! They didn't. Oh my goodness.
And here we go.
Because of the biolab, it locked the continent. But that doesn't count, guys. That doesn't count. Had they got the biolab by 10 seconds,
10
yes, they
seconds
would have
too
locked
late.
the con. But that doesn't count. So it's still, as we said, 96 to 3. Sorry, 93 to 6.
Oh man, that was 10 seconds from Server Smash history.
I did actually get a snapshot just before they got Envari, 2 seconds before.
I'm gonna have this annoying UI logo now on my.
Oh yes. Well, I can just unflip a territory and it goes away.
Oh, do that then, please. There you go. Cheers.
Oh, warp gates have rotated. Here we go. It's already gone.
Oh, sorted. There you go. Problem solved.
Everybody dead.
Right.
Can you fix the stats? Just to
Yeah.
6, it's 100-0.
Yeah, I'm doing that now.
Let's go down to the interview channel.
Yep.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
There are a few people I would like to strangle.
Really? Oh, Sam, as the losing force commander who suffered the greatest defeat in the history of Server Smash, no pressure, tell us what happened.
Well, it's quite simple, really. First of all, our air squad from a lovely outfit called GTR, they told the air commander to go himself and stop following orders. So there went our air. The GTR platoon leader would also refuse to sit in the channel with the rest of the platoon leaders and basically be able to coordinate with us. So So we ended up a platoon down and our air down within 5 minutes. So from there on, it was just fighting a losing battle. And our guy, it was rather frustrating, really, sitting around watching people losing 50-50s and being so slow. So all I have to say is, well, yeah, we need to pick up. We've learned that certain people cannot be relied on. But saying that, some outfits did an amazing job. A lot of the outfits that played, they did an amazing job patching holes. We did the best we could in the end. But in the end, when you're not coordinated and you don't have the air, you're just gonna slowly lose bit by bit.
I did actually notice that. I was looking at Yell chat in I think it was Frostbite when you lost a base to 70% VS pop, and I just quickly asked like what was happening. Is there a reason why NC is losing? And people, as I said in stream, were just simply not following orders. By the sounds of it, like Air Platoon was gone AWOL as well. So,
What about the opening of the game though? We noticed that the Vanished Sovereignty, you guys just applied pressure in the north, and it just seemed like you were just dominating from the beginning. I mean, was that your plan, just to go everywhere and just see what happens?
We were more likely to really push on the northern lanes. We found a few weaknesses in Sam's positions on his warp gate, and well, we decided to take a bit of advantage of that and really push hard on them. And well, in the end of the day, we managed to really push hard, and fortunately, we had a good match.
Fighting my worst platoon that wasn't following any orders. Murdoch was up there, so Murdoch was giving you a hard time. I know that, but yeah, there's an entire platoon that was up there just doing.
Yeah, there was an immediate problem up there when one of the platoons would not split. It was a 48-man group, or it was nothing, and that was within the first 10 minutes. Became a pretty easily outmaneuvered group for the Northern VS. So yeah, that happened.
Honestly, I think if the North hadn't fallen apart, we could have held our own in the middle and would have won quite easily. But hey ho, we just got stuck on fighting fires, and we were never able to push because we didn't have anyone free. Again, you've got your platoon down. All of a sudden, where's the extra numbers coming from?
So, did you enjoy today's experience? Is probably not quite the right question, but in terms of Cobalt versus Cobalt.
Well, I had to run to the toilet twice to throw up. I'm absolutely sick, so I didn't enjoy it at all. But it's interesting. We've learned some new things. We've learned which outfits and people can be relied on. We've learned a lot of strengths and weaknesses, but that's about it, really.
I had fun.
I was about to ask, RMIS, I was watching your fights, and you guys were really holding your own, especially against that Frostbite Harbour one, 70% NC forces. Now, I made a small comment on the PSBL matches you guys have been in. Do you think that PSBL, which is the Planetside Battle League for those that don't know, has actually helped you guys in any way in this kind of competitive scene, like it's training and stuff like that?
Well, most of the play we're doing is still on the live server, and we like to fight on the pub fight. So we're getting the risk there, and we're trying to putting our how do you say that? Our limits more and more higher, and then you get this, and we're really excited about it. We saw the pop 1 against 4 or something like that, and it's good communication, good training, and the PSBL is just an extra. Not everybody of the PSBL league guys are playing, only a couple. So we're still playing on the live server, and that made the whole difference, I think. And that's all.
Cool.
And we really enjoyed it, that's for sure.
Right, well, I guess, thanks for playing, guys. I mean, I hope you definitely had fun. Do you know who your next opponents are in terms of CobaltSmash?
Emerald, he says.
Yeah.
So you looking forward to that's in this is a hiatus. I don't have the calendar for it, unfortunately. But you looking forward to that, or
15th of March, yeah.
Can I, before we got this up, can I just see if you did an all call again to ask people to fill out the stats sheet?
I already did, mate. Already did.
Alright, well, I guess we're going to head off in a second. Is there anything you guys want to say to each other, Cobalt to Cobalt or whatnot, before we head off?
Rematch with a
Sure, anytime, man, anytime.
Still better fight than in the final last season.
It's been laid down, Emerald. There it is. You want it? You can go take it. Do you think Emerald's going to be out for blood for you guys? They want the kind of prestige back, or this is not going to be a challenge?
Definitely. But I mean, I've been playing on Emerald a lot lately, and I don't think we've got anything to worry about.
Right.
Okay.
The smack talk has begun.
Yeah. Alright, cool. Well, thanks very much, guys. We'll see you later. Cheers for playing, and I guess we'll see you in March when you play Emerald.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Right, so, that's us, guys. I guess the last thing we want to talk about is what's coming up next. So, the immediate next activity coming up from Planetside Battles will be a public pickup. This will be on February the 27th at 2100 UTC. I was given a script which I never read, but essentially they're public scrims that you play on the Jaeger server. You're given accounts, you play on the live server client. It's like a mini server smash in the sense that you have you fight over one particular base, kind of squad on squad or platoon on platoon, and it's public pickups. You play with anyone around the world, and you just turn up, ask for an account, and you'll be sorted into a team, and you play. It's typically a lot of fun. And highly recommend you guys go to Reddit Planetside Battles to find out more if you're interested in that. That is on the February the 27th at 2100 UTC. The next server smash, however, will be Miller playing as New Conglomerate versus Connery playing as Vanu Sovereignty. We'll be fighting on the new Amrish map, so you can check out the new maps that we've made for the 4 continents, Indar, Amrish, Esamir, and Hossin. So we're playing on the new Amrish map. Miller will be on the southern warp gate, Connor will be on the eastern warp gate, and that will be on February the 28th, starting at 2100 UTC. So we'll have a pre-game show that starts half an hour before that, and then you can watch Miller go against Connery, and that will be our games for February, and then the following games will be in March, which will give you more details on February the 28th. So I think that's everything from us, guys. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in about a week.